Yeah, today Raila Odinga has had a number of rallies on Mount Kenya. He began with a meeting with around 5 governors in a hotel somewhere. And then later on, he had a rally in Narumoru. After Narumoru, there was another rally in Chaka in Nyeri. Then there was Karatina, there was Sakana, there was Makutano, Kenol, Kantara, then there was Kithurai. Contrary to what many believed, that pork cannot be sold on the mountain, there was a huge turnout to welcome Baba on the mountain. And instead of Railaphobia, we saw it looked like RailaMannia. The excitement was real. And people were excited to see Baba scale the mountain. Baba himself said that walifikiria sitapanda mlima, sasa nimepanda. There was a time he said that alikuwa amepata punda wa kumsaidia kupanda mlima. So utatuambia huyo punda ni nani? But actually it has been a day of many activities, not just today, but it has been a weekend of activities on the mountain. It began with a church function in Gilgil. Then there was a function of youth in Laikipia. Then there was a church function in Laikipia, a rally in Laikipia, and then Nanyuki. Finally, there are today's events, which were around 8 stations that he spoke to the residents of Mount Kenya. And the reception was quite interesting. It has left mixed reactions to the Raila supporters. It has left excitement that is almost felt everywhere in social media. To Raila opposers or critics, it has also left mixed signals. And to those who were sitting on the fence, we saw some people who had not decided which candidate they need to promote. They jumped into the wagon and they thought like, okay, so we can try this Raila thing. So it has actually created a different work on the mountain, and it will be interesting to watch the activities that follow after today's event. As we know, it is a season of defections and a season of changing lands. It's a season of deciding which horse is more sellable to your area. So for those who had been worrying about selling pork on the mountain, could be a time to open a kiosk and try whether this pork, unajua mimi natoka Western, naweza sema bok, the pork can be sold on the mountain or not. So you're welcome to participate in our discussion tonight. We are just reflecting on those two major statements. Can pork sell on the mountain? Is Railaphobia an imaginary thing, or it exists? Is it, gone are the days when for you to be elected into parliament, you only need to threaten people about Raila. As far as I'm concerned, when he starts making inroads on the mountain, it will be hard for you to use Railaphobia to sell your candidature. So we want to destroy this Railaphobia and pork thing and just start discussing about issues. How about that? That will be a good discussion. So you are welcome, Wamalwa. My friend has many names. Amayo, okay, you're welcome. Thank you for those who are reaching us by the comment sections. We will appreciate if you make your comments more sellable, like pork on the mountain. Don't use abusive language. I might have difficulties highlighting your comments if you're using abusive language, but be objective and constructive in your argument. I'll post a few clips just for us to reflect on what happened and in the trip on the mountain, and let's have a conversation over the same. Okay.
What's your baba?
Tumekuja na nyuki. Tulifika jana. Tumekuja milimani. Wengine walisema Raila hawezi kupanda milima. Nimepanda sijapanda. Tumefika hatujafika. Mimi nimekuja kwa vijana wangu. Nimekuja kwa vijana wangu. Nimekuja kupiga mbio na mgambo. Mbio na mgambo ikilia, kusema kumepambauka. Kumepambauka baba. Jogoo shawika mara 3. Amkeni twende kazi. Hii ni kazi ya ukombozi wa 3. Na ni ukombozi ya vijana. It's called the Youth Revolution. Youth Revolution. Vile walifanya juzi kule Zambia. Vijana na nyuki sio, tumekuja na nyuki. Twende pamoja. Basi nasema twende pamoja nao kwa mkono. Yana timu, yana ria, yana ria, yana telala, yana telala, yana telala. Asanteni sana.
Okay, those are a few clips. One was Laikipia, Nanyuki, and then Narumoru. I know he visited different places, but we just wanted to show a few clips and just set the pace for the conversation. Thank you for those who are reaching us by the comment section. Keep your comments coming. We will highlight some of them. And then, yes, we will keep you in. We will loop you into the conversation. How are you, Wamalwa?
Poa sana.
Yeah.
Poa sana.
So, according to you, is Railaphobia or Railaphobia real or a marriage? A marriage means it's imaginary. It is an illusion of the eye. It's not there.
I'll just make a few submission and then I'll leave. First of all, I thank all the people from the mountain who welcomed the team. That's no problem. And I'm sure the people from mountain are more consistent and they know what they want. Even if an election is called today, we better remove that imaginary of things that in this region this candidate must come. Like I believe there is a section of Kenya where if you go there and don't praise the endemic god, you'll be chased away. We know that place. But this have not happened in the mountain for the 3 days, or I think 2 days. And what I know with the people from mountain, they are they know what they want. Even if you come, even if they celebrate you, even if you do everything to you, if you do everything to them, they know the person they want. And I'll quote the same quote from Anne Waiguru, who said, when the time comes, the people from the mountain, they will go directly from the man directly to the man. Just go there in the mountain, entertain them, because most of the people, they don't have work to do. Let it come, share you, celebrate you, but keep my word. When the day of election will come, they will go direct to the man whom they want. I was looking a day that we will have a Kenya, a Kenya like
No,
today.
Ruben.
Where all the
Ruben.
Yes.
You are being too diplomatic. I want you to tell me, I know you come from the mountain. This thing called Railaphobia, is it there or not? Wacha kuenda in circles. Is it there or not? Does it exist? We used to hear that when your child wants to sleep and refuses to sleep, you say, nitakuitia Raila. And then the baby goes to sleep. Does it still exist? Can you hit the nail on the head? That is what we are calling Railaphobia.
Okay, this one is always twisted by politicians. And what they want to portray the image of anybody, they can portray. So that one is not a problem. And they can do it away if they want. They can bring it if they want. But what I will tell you, when the day will come, the mountain will go direct to the man, and you won't believe. We don't forget. We always remember. From the day one, and the history is in our mind. So don't be so overjoyed because of those share of idlers in the mountain who have nothing to do, who are jobless, who have been perished in poverty during this Jubilee era from 2017. Their vibadas zimebomolewa, so they are idle, they are doing nothing. So they can go there and share, but when the day will come, they will go direct to the man. Keep my word.
Okay, I see you are very candid. Let me ask Frank, how are you?
Good, I'm good, bro. Sasa
Frank. How are you, Frank?
Unanipata? Poa sana, unanipata?
Yes, let me ask you, is Railaphobia real or am I right on the Mount Kenya?
You know, there is this guy
In other words, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it before you answer. Today, if you are standing for election in Mount Kenya, do you need to mention the name of Raila against Raila so that you are elected?
No, there is a guy mwenye ametoka hapa akisema that those boys wao hiyo gathering yote yenye tumeona siku ya leo from Orokarau, sijui Orokarau mpaka Githurai, eti ni watu wenye wako idlers, watu wenye sijui vibanda zilifanywa nini. Nataka niulize huyo jamaa, wakati Ruto anaendanga huko Githurai huwa wanaongeanga hivyo? Wakati Ruto anaendanga Kenol anapatana na hao watu wanaua wengine huko, huwa wanaongeanga hivyo that hao ni idlers ama ni watu hawana kazi, hawana vipanda zao zilipomolewa? Huwa wanaongea hivyo ama ni Raila Odinga leo amepatikana Central ama ameenda Githurai ndio maana wameongea hivyo? Kitu kingine, hii mambo ya kusema Railaphobia in Central that ukiongea Raila vibaya unachaguliwa, hiyo kitu imeisha. Hiyo ni myth, hiyo ni kitu yenye ambayo iko outdated, ni kitu yenye imeisha. Sasa hizi tuko na ina digital era yenye uwezo kadanganya mtu, anajua msimamo wake. Na watu wa Central wa Kikuyu wako na msimamo, wamesimama, wamesema anybody mwenye ataingia Central atawaambia kitu yenye atawaambia. Patu wenyewe, hata huyu mwenye ametoka hapa, najua kama ako UDA juu ya pesa. Wacha niwaambie, Mkikuyu mwenye atapigia Ruto kura ni mwenye ako Rift Valley. Lakini naambia Wakikuyu wenye wako Rift Valley ya kwamba 2022 hakuna vita yenye itapatikana Kenya hii. Kura ya 2022 itakuwa ya amani na watu watapiga kura na tutapata kiongozi na nchi itapaki kuwa na amani. Lakini kama mwenye atataka kurusha mawe aende Sugoi akarusha mawe huko. Kenya hatutaki mchezo round hii eti vita inapatikana. Kitu kingine, hii mambo ya kuita baba majina, sijui baba ako hivi, twende tuachane nayo. Kama uko na candidate kauza candidate wako, uachane na kuita mwingine majina. Because ukiangalia sisi watu wa ODM, ukiangalia mimi nimevalia t-shirt ya ODM hata kama ni ya Simba Rati. Sisi ni watu tuko na amani sana. Hatujaichokoza mtu, maybe utuchokoze. So ukikuja hapa kwanza kutuambia ya kwamba sijui Raila Odinga, Railaphobia, sijui nini, hiyo kitu ni kitu nyemeisha kabisa. Mkikuyu ni mtu mwako na akili. Asubuhi utampata Kikomba. Hao wenye wanasema ya kwamba wako idlers, asubuhi utawapata Kikomba wameenda kuchukua hizo mboga, utawapata Mudhuru wamechukua mboga, wamepeleka wapi? Huko wamemaliza biashara yao yote kabisa. Wako ready kureceive baba waongee nao. Si watu wenye walikuwa idlers eti hawakuwa na kazi ya kufanya. Unaisaida hicho wapiga kura eti walikuwa idlers. mtu mwenye anakuchaguliwa kiongozi 2022 eti alikuwa Hydra, na bado unaenda huko unapeleka kichwa na akili yako kwenda kutafuta kura huko. Tuacha mchezo bwana, wacha kutusi Wakikuyu. Wakikuyu wako na haki ya kusupport Raila Odinga vile wameamua kusupport Raila Odinga. Sisi Wakisii tuko na haki ya kusupport Raila Odinga, the same thing to Kikuyu. So wewe ukatuambia ya kwamba eti hao watu walikuwa hapo ni idols, ni watu wako na akili na walikuwa wanajua Raila Odinga na kuja hapo. Wengi wao walifunga maduka, wakafunga hoteli, wakafunga banki zao, wakafunga vinyosi na saruni, wakaamua kwenda kuona Raila Odinga. So tuache hiyo mchezo yenye mko nayo kabisa.
Thank you, Frank. Let's have Auntie. Auntie, how are you?
I'm very good, side fine, Mr. Kesa.
Okay, umeelewa topic?
Yes, I got the topic.
Yeah, you can make your contribution in 2 minutes.
What I would like to talk about RailaMannia Odinga. In Mount Kenya, because I'm from Mount Kenya, William Ruto is still popular there. But in the recent occasions, what I've seen, Raila is getting a plus, but he still has a long way to go, because the mountain, as the other guy said, we still have flashbacks. We know who to vote. Kura ndio itaamua who will be the president. And as the mountain, we know who will vote. We know where our vote belong. But I would like to advise the ODM people, the followers of ODM. Saa zingine si vizuri kukuanga na hasira ukirudisha. I once said Kenya is a democratic country. Don't bring feelings while we're talking about. We are brothers. We are entitled to vote anybody you want, and nobody will choose for anybody who to vote for. So on Raila Odinga right now is on the right track, but he still have a long way to go. That's what I can say, Mr. Wakesa.
Okay. Short and clear. Thank you. Let's move to Karanja, and then we have Mugambi.
Yes. Kwa hizo mambo zote nimesikia, na leo nimekuwa kwa hizo mikutano zote za Raila from Juja to Githurai, tumemalizia hapo. Na wacha nikwambie, ile mnaona kwa picha kwa ground ni tofauti. Kwa zile mambo leo nimejionea, watu wameenda kuona baba kabisa. Lakini kwa wale watu walikuwa uweze angalia na wale wanasiasa wengine kama Ruto compare. Vile watu wanaenda wanafurahia nini, nimekuwa hapo. Wacha tuko na discussion mzuri, na hapa si ati ni kutumia kifua. Kwa ground sahi Ruto have the number, na sahi kubadilisha mawazo ya Kikuyu kwa Ruto ni kitu ingine ngumu. Na nimekuwa kwa hizo mikutano, nimeanza na Raila kutoka akiwa Keno, tumekuja naye mpaka Juja, tumekuja naye mpaka tukaachania hapa Githurai. Na Githurai akisema ni kumalizia, kulikuwa kubaya. Ni venye hamukuona video, hamukuona venye kulikuwa, kwa sababu Babu Owino kuna maneno ameenda kuongea pale, lakini raia ya Githurai ikaleta shida. So hata wakimalizia haukuona venye Raila ametoka pale, kwa sababu mimi nilikuwa pale naweza kueleza. So huyu jamaa wa ODM anaongea na hapo na kifua. Wacha nimwambie tu kwa ground sign tofauti, na Mount Kenya iko nyuma ya wheelbarrow.
Bro, mimi nisikize, sijaongea na kifua, ni ile nataka kukuexplainia. Kitu ya kwanza unasema, ngoja kidogo. Just a minute.
I respect
Frank, wacha amalize.
Wacha nimjibu. Kuna kitu nataka kumcorrect.
Nitakupatia time urespond. Wacha amalize.
Sawa.
Unajua na mdomo. Kuna maneno yenye natumia ati Ruto akienda pahali kuna kifo, ati vote zenye zimebaki tu ni za kura Sugoi. Wacha nikwambie my friend, juzi Ruto amekuwa mpaka huko Migori, umejionea venye kumekuwa, amekuwa kule Kitui, umejionea venye kumekuwa, amekuwa all over from Western Kakamega, wewe umejionea tu kwa macho, isipokuwa hapo kwa Sibarati, na tunajua mambo ya Sibarati venye iko, lakini
So
sasa
nikuulize William Ruto kwenda Migori amepatana na umati, hiyo umati itampatia kura, lakini Raila Odinga kwenda Central akipatana na umati, ground iko different bwana.
Nakwambia
uko Kenya gani? Uko Kenya gani? Uko Kenya kweli?
Unajua hapana, hata sitaki kujibana na wewe sana, lakini nakwambia mimi nimekuwa kwa hiyo msafara wa Raila na nimejionea kwa ground venye iko. Ya mambo ya Migori sitaki kuongea sana juu sijui huko mambo yako kwingine, lakini ile nimejionea leo, mimi nakwambia ground iko kwa Ruto.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Moderator.
Njenga, thank you. Njenga. Thank you
Moderator, naisa respond.
Wait first. I wanted to ask Njenga, in your own assessment, Njenga, Raila is not running for the first time. He has run almost 4 times. The other times he could not even leave alone Central. He could not step even on a Thika Road. Right now that he had a privilege to go through all the Central, and that is the question we're asking, is Railaphobia inapunguka ama inaendelea kukua vile ilikuwa? According to your own assessment, he may not be the man on the ground, yes, but that Railaphobia thing where people used to get scared. Even you said that people came to see who is Raila. There are times they did not even want to see him, but right now they came to see him. Are you seeing that there is a change in attitude? That was the conversation we're asking. We have not said that he commands the ground.
Wakesa, I have a submission to make.
No, he hasn't responded first. Let him respond.
Okay. Okay, moderator, ni kama huyo jamaa hataki kujibu swali yenye umemuuliza. No, nataka kumrespond towards kitu yenye ameongea please. Na kama si wewe na respond, unyamaza, nimalize na nitatoka nikuachie wakati. Kitu nataka kusema ni Raila Odinga in each and every election ikifika akienda Central, tulikuwa tunaona matokeo. Hakuwa anatakiwa. Nakumbuka 2017 tukienda Nakuru. I was there 2017 Nakuru. Ile mateso yenye tulipitia huko ilikuwa ngumu. Lakini ukiangalia saisi Raila Odinga akienda Nakuru huwa analisiviwa kama king, kama mesaya wa siasa ya Kenya. So Ruto amekuwa akienda Central since 2013 mpaka saizi. Wewe cheka from 2013 mpaka saizi amekuwa akienda Central, amekuwa akitangatanga Central, amekuwa akiruita choo zote za Central amepita. Amefanya vitu zote kwa choo za Central. Hakuna choo yenye ajui Central. Pati leo hii Raila Odinga ameenda siku mbili. Si akienda huko kwani anakulanga chakula.
Unatumia siasa ya kifua. Fanya kama ni kusupport Raila, support Raila na njia yako mzuri. Lakini kusema mambo ya kutangatanga kwa choo, manze hiyo siasa ilipita bana. Hapa tunaongea mambo ya
akili ya utoto. Hakuna akili ya utoto.
Okay. Ni utoto but lazima nikujibu. Okay. Moderator, can you do your job bwana?
Hii ni character ya ODM.
Moderator. Wewe. Moderator.
I think we are done with the two of you. Let's have
tangu 2013 Raila Odinga amekuwa akienda Central anafukuzwa. Pati leo hii Raila Odinga ameenda siku mbili Central unaanza kulia.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Mugambi, are you around?
Yes, Wekesa, how are you?
I'm good. Can you bring sanity in the debate? I want someone who can debate properly now.
Thank you. It has really been a while, and even today I'm not planning to stay for long. I want to say something. It's so unfortunate that Ruto supporter, when Ruto used to go to Mount Kenya and meet people in Githurai on a Sunday, they are people of useful economic gain in their locality. But when Baba today comes and meets people of Mount Kenya, he has met handlers, as if those handlers don't have ideas or as if they don't vote. Away from that, I think as a group, we should not go off the grid so much when you are making our points. If you make your point articulatively, and when you make your point making noise, there's a very big difference. Let's respect what each of us owns, because my views cannot be your views. I'm entitled to my views, and you are entitled to not accepting or believing or studying my views. That said, there are two routes to combing Mount Kenya politics or going through Mount Kenya. One route, you'll go through Githurai, Makutano, Nyeri, then Nanyuki. Then you come from Nanyuki, Meru, Tharaka-Nithi, Embu, back to Kirinyaga and Githurai. Today, not today, since we began politics in Kenya, Raila has never made successful one full route of a political entrance without throwing of stones, roads being barricaded, people calling him names. I think with all due respect, let us give Raila a credit today for the step he has made around Mount Kenya. Why do I say this? The first time that Raila came and stepped his foot in Mount Kenya without any fear of being called names, being stoned, or even his entrance being lynched is in 2002 when he was campaigning for Kibaki. Now, it's a big achievement for Raila to be in Nanyuki for 2 days consecutive. The first day he went and met PNU delegates. The second day it was on a Sunday. He went in a church. He met the business community around Mount Kenya and in Nanyuki. He slept there. Then today he has met the 4 governors of Mount Kenya counties. With those governors, they began their routes from Nanyuki. They went to Narumoro. They went to Chaka. They went to Karatina. They came to Sagana. They came to Makutano. They went to Kenol, Thika, Juja, then Githurai. So to me, if I'm asked, Railaphobia in Mount Kenya, it was being drummed by all of us because we had one of us in the ballot as the president. And for us to demonize Raila at that time, it was to give our candidates or our sons or our daughters who wanted to lead our country a milestone or a political mileage. Today, as Mount Kenya, we have no direct interest in the presidency. Whoever is saying he will be the president in Mount Kenya right now is a joker. And we can't risk our country or our region for jokers. As it stands today, in Kenya, we have 2 front runners. That is Raila and Ruto. It's true, Uhuru brought Ruto in Mount Kenya in 2013. That you accept. Before 2013, Raila and Ruto perception for Mount Kenya was at par. They were 2 big enemies for the region. Uhuru sometimes Ruto, he came with him because he wanted to use his influence in Rift Valley to get to presidency. Come today, we don't have any serious presidency. The leaders in Mount Kenya, they have sabotaged Uhuru's mission for the succession politics. So Uhuru has reached a point whereby he has given his lieutenants to sell the person whom they see as good. And the lieutenants, we can't assume governors because governors, they have big support on the ground as compared to other MPs are going down. So today's Raila support and Raila's success should be and must be credited to the 4 governors whom he was with, plus the few MPs that they were with. So Railaphobia about the pork in Mount Kenya, it was there because we wanted one of us to be the president. Raila was Raila was Jamba in 2002 because we wanted his influence so that Kibaki can be the president. That's a plain truth. In 2007, Raila became Kemodo. We had Railaphobia because we wanted Kibaki to be the president. That's a fact. In 2013 and 2017, Ruto was a jamba. Ruto was a savior, as Raila was in 2002, so that Uhuru can become the president. Now we go to 2022, where we don't have Uhuru and we don't have Ruto. What do? We give our people chance to go and support whoever they want. Most of people of Mount Kenya, as at now, they feel they are in safe hands of Raila for one reason. I know this point is going to create a lot of frictions here. Number one, in Mount Kenya, from 1992 to 2002 to 2013, those are 30 years. We have been in power for 20 years. It will be so unfortunate if we can risk giving someone power whom by no chance we don't have even the mirage of when Mount Kenya will get back his person. So by all chances, Raila stands favorite candidates, not for hustlers, but for people who are politically mature, people who look for something good for the mountain, and the people who want the leadership to come back to the mountain in the near future. Thank you. That's my summation. But please, let us not call people idlers because they have come out to support Raila. When they come out to support Ruto, we, the Raila supporters or the handshake guys, we normally say Ruto hand supporters in Githurai. Now that today Raila has got more support than what Ruto had in Githurai, they have been nicknamed to be just handlers. That's so wrong of you, Ruben. And I'm sure you are a young man. You don't have to call your fellow young men idlers because, in one extent, even yourself, you can be referred to an idler if you go by the definition of what you are putting. So respect Raila's people, and we shall respect Ruto's people. Ruto used the same route that Raila has used. We respected him, although there were some people in Narumoro who didn't want Ruto, but today they want Raila. So respect the lanes. Let us campaign peacefully. That's what I can say. Mr. Wekesa, it has been long since I left the show or the live show. Today I've come and I beg to leave, but the next person can take over. Thank you. Not unless there's any question.
That okay. I'm wondering when you are saying that Raila was received by governors. Who are these governors? The Laikipia one is just outgoing governor. Who is Kimemia? Kimemia is outgoing. Nyoro even was not elected.
For your information, wait. For information, Kimemia is not the Laikipia governor. Do your assignment. Kimemia is not the Laikipia governor. And Kimemia
from Nyandarua.
Yes, he is from Nyandarua. So do your assignment well before you engage me, kindly, Ruben. And a governor cannot be put in the same scale as the MC or MP.
Personally, my county is Laikipia. Derito Moreithi was elected independently after competing with huyo governor mwingine Irungu. And then for this time in my county they are saying the time for the Derito is over. We are waiting August 9 to send him back, to send him home. Surely, if you are telling me about Kimemia, who had done nothing in Nyandarua, it's a big lie. Then telling us about Nyoro, surely, Nyoro, I was expecting people like Mwago Iria, Akinane Aigoro, to be in the part of that. But where are they? He anaenda na failures wenye wanaenda nyumbani. So we are not worrying about that. Hasra and Ruto amekuwa akienda peke yake. Raila has been protected. Listen. Raila has been protected by government machinery.
Mugambi. Hello, Mugambi.
Yes.
Mugambi, kindly moderate for me. There is a call I have to attend to. I'll come back in 10-15 minutes. Kindly.
Okay,
Raila
okay.
has been protected by government machinery. And those few individuals wenye wanapewa kitu kidogo kidogo waenda wakamwona hakuna shida, but that government machinery washa tupatane nayo kwa ballot box. They have been promising us there is deep state, there is those government machinery we have seen, but Ruto, he has been in central Mount Kenya individually, even without system, without government machinery, him alone as an individual, and we are happy about him. So telling about Raila tour, Raila sijui received by governors, I really wonder who are these governors. I expect people like Mwago area, like Kahiga, like even Kahiga not really, like Anne Waiguru. Those are the governors who can at least face the mountain. But the outgoing governors, their days are expired. Wanaangalia
What do you mean?
mahali
What
wanaweza
do you mean by outgoing? What do you mean by outgoing? Why don't you
obvious
just
mtu like
give us facts? Stop lying to us, my
obvious
brother.
Hello, let me interrupt.
Okay,
Can I
kindly,
interrupt?
kindly, order.
Can you
Don't be
allow
so
me
rogue in
interrupt?
your comments.
Order, Ruben. Let me say this. Ruben is double speaking. When you talk of outgoing governor, I think you are talking about the governor who has served 2 terms, of which
Yes.
Mwangi Iria is one of them. And then you are claiming Mwangi Iria, who you claim is outgoing, should have received Raila. So where are you? Are you coach or are you what? Where are you?
But even Mwangi Wairia is supporting Raila.
kindly
Okay.
check the history of Mount Kenya, of those
Everyone who
governors
supports
or those
Raila,
leaders.
everyone who
No,
supports
kindly
Raila, everyone who supports
kindly
Raila
check.
to a Tanga fan is always outgoing. Why?
Kindly.
Because very soon, any governor who supports Raila, you always diminish him. You tell him that he's doing nothing. Then you say that he's outgoing. Why?
Okay. Thank you. Let us, Ruben.
Let me
Kindly,
tell you, some of these
Ruben,
governors just made it because of deep state. Someone like Anne Waiguru was rigged. Kiraitu Murungi was rigged. Alfred Mutua was rigged. Sonko was rigged. Eh? Don't think that some of them are governors because they had votes. No.
Okay, Isawa. That was my point, and I don't want it being discussed further. Who was the next? I think Ruben had talked, and who was the next to talk after me? Can we have next?
I've just come. I've not spoken. I'm the newcomer. I'm the last comer, but I've not
Newcomer.
spoken.
There are others who are waiting still, who had not talked. Who was that?
Yes.
Can I speak?
Sorry? Who?
Can I speak? Dan.
Dan.
Is it Dan Maina? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Dan Maina.
Okay. Let us bring an honest conversation about the Mount Kenya politics. And I've had Sam Mogambi and my brother Ruben speak about it. But it has to have an honest conversation, meaning you're a supporter of something, or on your one side, it does not mean the other person being on the other side has nothing to say. When you talk about democracy, is allowing anyone to speak their views, having your own supporters and bringing your own argument on the table, rather than throwing stones to one another. One I can say, when you talk about the 4 governors, that being Kenya Jui, Kimemia, that being Governor Nyoro, and also the Laikipia Darito Muredi, the Laikipia governor, there is a sense that Ruben has brought up about them coming out of their seats. And Brother Mugambi, truly to be spoken, if you look at about the Mount Kenya politics, what concerns about Raila, yes, can be the best political person to regain the regime of Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, the problem with him is the people that he is using to come and sell his bid in Mount Kenya. Let it be an honest question. Now, for example, I come from Nyandarua County. Governor Kimemia, I can surely tell you about 80% he doesn't have a chance to come back on that governorship. Let's just have an honest conversation. And you also remember the leaders of governors, the chairperson came out and said that they are going to welcome, each and every governor has the mandate or has the chance to welcome every person who comes to their county to do so. But look at this, nobody goes in the except the governor of Bando. no other governor has appeared to welcome Ruto as he's roaming around even on other parts of the country. Let us look another sense. When we had the meeting whereby there was a function where Waruguru, the woman rep, Laikipia women spoke about, there was the presence of Akina Mother Karua, Akina William Kabogo, and everybody else. There was what was said by Catherine Warugo, and she said very clearly, let us not have just sycophants who take the calls of Uhuru and tells Uhuru that everything is good on the ground. The same thing happened to SK Masharia. He came and told the people like Akina Maina Kamada, Akina Jeremiah Kioni, who is my MP in Daragwa. He was told by Akina SK Masharia, they stopped cheating Raila and telling him that things are well on the ground. What I would say is this: when you talk about Raila being part of Mount Kenya, here we are, for me personally, I would say Ruto as per now is the best candidate for us as Mount Kenya. That is what I could say. One thing I can talk about this is by bringing up, by understanding that we cannot, as civilized as we are, as educated that we are discussing things, as civilized as we know the best candidate is Raila Odinga. But let us put things on the table. The truth of the matter is the civilization that we got and what is happening on the ground are two different things. The same man who is coming out of the seat, Uhuru Kenyatta, he talked about the 10-10. That is something that you cannot remove from the mind of the people of Mount Kenya region, no matter how much you put onto them. That is what I can say. For the civilization society, let us say we can. But let us be honest and say there are people who follow a certain presidential candidate, not because they had studied or know about him, but because they have had a lot of people are following that same candidate. Remember what Igoro says? Igoro said that to these people and told them, there are two horses which are fair, and that is Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Omoro Odinga. And she said particularly said, if you know you're not able to follow one route, you have to go to one other route. If there is one who is telling you to break up your camps and join their camp, that she mentioned and said that is Ruto that who said that same way. So if there is no Ruto, you're going to Raila Odinga. As the civilized society, we know the best person that we can speak about it is Raila. We can speak about him. He has the best formulation to come up. But the question is, will the 6 million votes go to Raila? If today we cast a vote, please let us have an honest answer and say 70% of them will go to Ruto. Now, I concur with Ruben when he talks about the people who are bringing Raila and sending Raila into us. Look at Kanini Kega. For me, Kanini Kega has just been a person who is just a psychopath and just benefiting from the government itself, because he does not bring the truth to the president of Kenya. That is one thing that comes in with these leaders that are bringing around and are bringing Nani in Raila to Mount Kenya. If it was better, let us look at an example of what happened in Kiaba. Kiaba, the person who was coming, the Jubilee candidate.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Can I finish still kidogo too?
But
Please finish
your
faster
speech.
because there's a
Shorten
long
your
line.
speech.
We also want to speak.
Shorten your
Yeah.
speech because you have so many people waiting.
We also want to speak.
Okay. I mean it.
Right.
So let us look at the Kiamba by-election. We had this man who was coming the Jubilee candidate, and we had the other guy who was coming the UDA candidate. The reason as to why the person, the Jubilee candidate, was defeated, who was also a member of UDA, he migrated to go to Jubilee. He said, and he had also told their leaders, please let me do the campaigns alone. I don't want to have leaders coming to help me do the campaigns. So also in Mount Kenya, it is a factor who is helping you and who is setting your name on the ground. As per now, we have not had Raila coming to be sold, not yet. Because what he is using, the people he is using, or the vehicles that he is using to come with, are what is bringing a problem to us. Thank you.
I think you are trying to run out of the topic, and then to an extent that you want to tell us that Raila's problem is the people who are bringing him to Mount Kenya. Be it be Raila bringing himself or being brought by donkeys, cows, or cats. The question is Railaphobia a fact or a fiction? Is Raila climbing Mount Kenya, given that today he has made a triumphant entry to Mount Kenya, something that he has never done when he's looking for a vote in Mount Kenya? So, what do you make of Raila's entrance in Mount Kenya today, despite of who brought him?
Despite of who brought him, all the people who gathered around, it does not mean anything as per now. He is not yet accepted. That is the truth.
Thank you.
It
Those
does
are your
not mean
points.
anything to you. It does not mean anything to you or anyone who comes from Mount Kenya. Because as for now, you are just giving us your own opinion. That
Yes,
is
I'm
not
giving
objective. That is a personal opinion.
that
You
is
see,
that is
Okay.
what I'm saying. On my own
Okay. Thank
opinion.
you.
what you are
Thank
saying is
you.
not objective.
Thank you. That's your opinion, Mister. You are Mister Who? Omalwa, who you are? That's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. Can we have the next person? And please let us be objective, because whenever a person visits a region and you meet people to come and cheer for you, that is not just a show off. That's a political message that has been made. Next in the line is, I think, David Olo, and try to bring sanity now in this.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I just want to be fair to myself. I just want to say that, okay, since the time I started supporting Raila, I started supporting Raila. The first time I became sober and I realized who Raila is was in 2000. Was in 2000. Yeah, when they went to Kasarani and he said that Kasarani ni kichinjio haturudi tena. I was young and my brothers used to support him. That is how I came to learn politics and I got hooked into politics. And I want to say that since the first time I started supporting Raila, I have never seen him accepted in Central Province like it happened today. I have never. And I have never seen him accepted like the way I see him being accepted now with the people of Central Province. If I look at my Facebook friends, most of them are Kikuyus. I want to tell you they post Raila's photos, they talk very good of him. And until right now I can't speak anything bad about a Kikuyu. I've changed my mind. No matter, even if there is another Kikuyu who can speak bad about me or about Raila, I just assume that maybe he's just a stereotype. He can't just change no matter what. But I want to tell you that what happened today, I've never seen it in my life. Kwanza Githurai, I thought that people are going to throw stones, people are going to boo him, but I was amazed by the crowd. In fact, in Nyeri, when they were coming, if you can deny what happened today, then there's something wrong with you. And I just want to say that I know that Ruto will get a big percentage than Raila from Central Province, but Raila is going to increase his votes in Central Province. He can even get 40%. I'm very, very sure. If he goes the way he's going, he can get 40%. And then one thing I've realized that it is not so good to be so close to voters all the time. You go every weekend, you are there. You should withdraw so that they miss you a little, so that when you go back, they are very happy to see you. But if you keep on going there every day, they see you every Sunday, they see you every Sunday, they'll get bored with you. They'll see like you are cheap, like you are worshiping them. So what I want to say is that I know Ruto will get a big percentage from Central Province, but Raila is going to increase his votes. I've been watching every election keenly. In fact, on the day of election, I never drink until the votes are announced. I never even sleep. That is why I always notice when the rigging is happening. Most people they don't know that the election is always rigged. In fact, most Kikuyus they don't know that election is always rigged. They always just wake up and find the president being announced, and they say, "Oh, tumeshinda," but they don't know how they reached there. So I want to tell you that Raila is going to increase his votes this time. The other elections, Raila never get more than 1,000 from Kikuyus. 1,000 votes. I mean 1,000. But this time, even if he gets 40,000 out of 8 million, I will appreciate. That is what I can say.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Mr. Olo. I think you have nailed it at the top. Let us give a mature debate in this platform, because we want to set a pace to other online online visual platforms. I think let us not brush off what has happened today. Raila alone, without a kingpin in Mount Kenya, coming from the farthest part of the mountain, Nanyuki, to Nairobi, making more than 8 stopovers, is something that should send shockwaves to every other person who thinks of becoming a leader in this country. So thank you so much, Mr. Olo. I think you have nailed it as it should be. Let us not whitewash what you have seen today because this is something that is going to be discussed by all and sundry. Actually, it has been on the social media that the people in UDA have been following what has been happening live, including Itumbi, meaning that guy is also astonished of what has happened today. And wait and see. We are just waiting to see how they are going to react because they have nothing else to tell people. Raila is as clean as a cotton in Mount Kenya. I see the chairman is here, Mr. Mutembei has come, and he could be having something to tell us. Welcome, chairman.
Asante, asante. Nasikiza discussion kwanza before ni contribute. Nikicontribute watu watakimbia.
Sawa, asante. I think umesikia hizo mbili zimetoka hapa, moja ya Karanja, ingine ya Ruben. I think we are going to react on them after kila mtu ameongea. Then we have who was the next person? Who was the next person to talk?
Mimi.
Who? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. S Notes. Isa Notes.
I Santos. Sasa
Okay,
thank you Mtembei for coming today. Sasa hii vitu inategemea talk inaweza kuwa board juu ya moderator. Unacheck moderator anaweza ongea akilalia mpande ingine. Sasa hapo talk inakuwa board according to politics. Sasa ukiona watu wanasema ati Raila ako na gain popularity Mount Kenya, ukiangalia akiwa na Nyuki when he was saying vijana chalala people hebu kama unaweza project hiyo nini akiwa na Nyuki, ndio hii watu waelewe Kenya wanasema.
Hiyo ni propaganda.
No. I think in Santos, you have come to this platform to give your views. Just give your views as they are. We shall respect them, please. Give your views.
Tumekuja na nyuki, twende pamoja. Basi nasema twende pamoja, neno kwa mkono. Yana timu, yana ria, yana ria, yana telala, yana telala, yana telala. Asanteni sana.
You have received what you wanted. Now tell us something.
Okay, let others people contribute. Acha nitafuatilie kidogo.
Asante, ujue nilikuwa najua tu una kitu ya kusema.
No, you see the guy come with the mind that Raila ni good. When tunaona vizuri, unajua ana record ka kitu then unaenda nyuma ya kamera unaongea hapo nyuma. Raila akisema kitu unasema Ruto, then unatuma unasema ni kwa ground wako hapo. Wametoka na Nyuki, wakakuja Karatina, wakakuja Sagana, wakaingia Makutano, Keno, hapa Juja, Githurai, huko kote mbona kukuwa na hiyo kelele. You see, it's good to say the truth. Unajua ile kitu, in fact Raila amekuwa tu ni kama mtu achukui that chance. Chance imekuwa hapo ya Raila kuchukua Mount Kenya vote, but amekuwa akiachilia Ruto sana. Mpaka Ruto anaenda Mount Kenya celebrate after BBI imeanguka. BBI kitu ilikuwa inapelekea Mount Kenya over 50 something billion, unaenda kucelebrate huko after imeanguka, then unaanza kuambia watu ati nitawaletea 100 million per constituency. So what is 100 million compared with those billions zenye walikuwa win? So sahi ile Raila anaweza wa advise the team watengeneze messaging vizuri. Wherever they go, they have to tell people the truth about BBI, how it was going to help them. Then sasa kama ni Ruto, acha kuja celebrate that the Mount Kenya people lost. Acha endelee tu kucelebrate na kudanganya na kina Rigathi Gachagua. Every time anadanganywa hapo, anaenda anaambia watu sijui nini, what happened. So ni endeleeni kucelebrate team BBI imeanguka, but Mount Kenya lost with that BBI. So Agwambo akijipanga na kuja na that message vizuri, my friend, Ruto hata hiyo leo anasema Ruto atakuwa na sijui 50%. Hiyo ni dream. Ruto kupata hata 20% itakuwa ngumu sana. In fact, I see Ruto refusing to be in the ballot. Aseme yeye hataki. Next. I think it will
Thank you, Mr. Mutembe. I think you have spoken the truth, and the truth has set you free. I see we have Bernard, we have Seth, we have Mwamburi. People have joined us. I know Bernard is our seasoned contributor. We can have Seth and Mwamburi give your views on what you are seeing running on at the bottom of the screen. Seth. Seth, are you there? Mwamburi? Is Mwamburi around? Yes, Mwamburi, give us your views, Mwamburi. In Accra, they are not prepared. Bernard, as they prepare their views.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm happy to be here again, and I'm happy that the mountain is accepting the message, and I'm happy that Baba has kept up in the fight. And one thing that I'm too sure of is the so-called Railaphobia is just the creation of people that will soon be melted away, as I've seen the response so far. Those trying to sell the negative message will soon get tired, because in life generally, if you're always telling people this person is bad, this person is bad, this person is bad, what happens is people will go and check. And if they find that what you said is not how the person is, it is you they will turn to say you are the one that is bad. And I think the UDA people have spent a lot, and the rest of the people selling the negative message on the badness of Baba for the country, badness of Baba for economy, badness of Baba for politics and all that. But I believe it is about time for the truth to come out. And as the truth comes out, it will be very difficult for the lies to hold on the minds of the people. And so far, so good. I'm happy. And I really want us to focus on the greater picture of a great Kenya, where all Kenyans are equal and all Kenyans have a right, whatever, equal access to the resources that are available within the country, regardless of their political persuasion, regardless of their religious persuasion, regardless of their tribal origin. When we succeed at this, we will move giant steps ahead than us digging ourselves in the same circle every year and every cycle of elections. So Baba has picked up a very good message of Azimio la Umoja, and when that gets lifted and gets in every heart of every Kenyan, UDA will have to go and plan again. It is good to, to focus on becoming president but let it be for right reasons. Let it be for the sake of the country. Let it be for the sake of the people. But taking advantage of the people's plights to go and say that you made this one president, you made this one prime minister, and now you want to make Mama Mboga what? It is becoming a tired message. So let the game begin, let the dance begin. Let's see who is the best dancer at the last whistle. But the issue that the mountain is in anybody's custody here has been proved wrong today. And as days goes, I am sure there will be a new song in this country from the east to the west, from the north to the south. I'm too sure of that. And one thing I love about Baba is his conviction and his persuasion that whatever that is wrong can be made right. The leadership of convenience, like some Mount Kenya leaders are becoming playing safe. Huh? They say if you associate with Raila, you may not be re-elected if you go to the Raila's meeting. That is one way of not you demonstrating leadership. Leadership is being convicted about a particular truth and rallying the people that particular truth. But this business of camouflaging, trying to go and hide and try to play safe, it is a hypocrisy of leadership that has made this country not take off. Let's have somebody who is convicted. Jaramogi was convicted that the release, or there will be no independence without the release of Kenyatta, against all the colonial minds. That is what leadership is. You don't have to go according to the current. You can change the current. So let the Mount Kenyan leaders come out and speak with a clear voice. What do they want for the country? All this business of if you associate with this, you will not be voted in, if you will lose your seat. What is the importance of having a seat if it's built on lies? We need leaders that have a nerve to stand on the ground and state their conviction about the country based on what they see becoming of this country, not how well they can use the country to save their own skin. Those kind of leaders, watoleo wote. Let me stop it there.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay.
Wekesa, karibu vipi? I can see the mountain. You have arrived.
Poa.
Wekesa, can I say something?
Yeah, proceed.
Okay. I just want to say that what Bernard has said is very true. Like when I saw Waiguru again going back to Ruto, I felt like she's not being honest. Like, even on the other side, she's going to lose. And the best way is to lose in Jubilee. She would have just stayed in Jubilee because even if she goes to UDA, they are going to rig the other woman because the other woman is a diehard UDA fan and she has been in UDA. And this one has shown Waiguru as a dishonest person. And even UDA is seeing her as a dishonest person. So I think she really, really did a very, very big mistake. Because one thing, now, if she would have stayed in Jubilee, Raila already liked her. Maybe she would have failed as a governor. Then when Raila wins, she's nominated in another position, But now, the way she has done, no one trusts her. No one is going to trust her. She's going down alone. So I think leaders must be very honest and they must have something to stand and die for. That is what I can say.
Pakesa, allow me to say something. Please, kidogo. I think we need to have a very, 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 very neutral moderator. Please, very neutral. Sisi watu tuko na different opinion, we are not given nini, hatupewi haki yetu. And it is not good when a moderator moderator anajaribu kuegemea one side. Hiyo sio poa na si agree na huwa nasema mahali sijafurahia. We need a very neutral moderator, anapea everyone chance haegemei side yoyote, kwanza akuwe neutral. Akitaka kuwa anaegemea, anatoka anapatia another person who is neutral.
Yeah, okay. Ruben or Wamalwa, depends on the name. I think I've understood what you have said, but you need also to understand that on this channel, we don't vet people who come in. So when you come in, for example, today you come in as Ruben, tomorrow you come in as Wamalwa, the other day you come in as Onyango. I may not even know on which side you belong. So in terms of asking me to be neutral, I may not understand. Sometimes I just see the names there, and for me, I admit people based on the time you came. If you came first, I give you the first chance. If you came last, I give you the last chance. So I don't admit on the basis these are after this wing of politics, let me go to the other wing of politics. If I knew that kila mtu, unless I allow you to wear uniforms, some to wear yellow, others orange, then I will say now from orange we go to yellow, from yellow we go to orange. But I don't know where you come from. I don't even ask your background, your political background. I just say, next person is this one. Can you give your views? Sometimes it happens that out of the 10 people who have come in the channel, you may find 2 are on one side and 8 are on the other side. I don't know how to balance that. I only allow each person to contribute on the side they belong to. I don't say that because we will need a neutral debate. So can 5 be on opposition side and 5 be on a proposition side? Kindly understand that it's an informal discussion that has not factored in on 50-50.
No, Mugabe, Wekesa, I'm saying you are the moderator, you have the mic. When I say something you are not pleased of, you bash on me. And somebody like Mugabe should never ever be a moderator in this forum. Please.
Okay, on the other side, we also lack a moderator on the side of what you think maybe is inconvenience. If you think you are good enough to be a moderator to support the other wing,
just hold on,
let me tell you.
No,
Yes.
Wekesa, hoja kwanza. You're putting yourself on the defense over matters that you have no control over. In the sense that nobody applies to be on this platform and we have prior interview of who is coming and what they're going to say. We pick on people according to the arrival, like you stated, and we don't know what you will say. In fact, we pray that you will not say anything that may cause us problem as we moderate the program. So it is not a matter of us prearranging or picking people. But if what you are sharing is also propaganda, we will not let you go because we have a responsibility as a media house to...
Acha nijibu hiyo ya moderator Bernard.
Okay.
Moderator wenye wako hapa, we have moderator from Tanga, we have moderator from Raila side, those who support the handshake and those who support the Tangas. So it happens that Tanga moderators wanaonekananga hapa once in a while. Na si shida ya watu hapa kuja kusema eti wana support sijui side gani ama eti ukuje ujifanye you don't support anything. I normally say hata kama wewe ni moderator, support your side. Usikuje kujifanya hapa ni kama utapiga kura. Just support your side. Moderator kina Jesu wakitaka kuingia na kina Ashley watakuja waseme their thing, but you cannot hapa sitaki watu wakuje kujifanya. I like what being truthful. Kama una support Raila, yes you support Raila. Mtu ukipea mtu chance aanze kundanganya, ask him questions. Usiogope anything na usikubali mtu akuuliza maswali. Thank you very much. Naweza endelea.
Thank you. So that is how things happen here, Ruben. And like Wekesa noted, just be consistent with one name. You don't have to... We don't even judge people by their names before they are admitted on this. And this sympathy addiction, let's just stop it. It is not selling. Let's just face it. We have a country to watch over, and we have a responsibility to contribute in our small way, but being genuine. Honesty is still the best policy from where I sit. You don't have to make yourself what you're not so that you get accepted. Thank you.
Okay, Bernard, proceed.
I had made my submission. I think we should be giving somebody else.
Okay. Mike, there's someone called Mike. I think he has come. He has just joined the debate. Mike, do you have anything to contribute to the topic? I see he's still having a network problem. Let's now, Bernard, I want to contribute before so you continue moderating. I want also to contribute as a member, not as a moderator. Ndio vibaya.
Take the floor.
Have you allowed me to do that?
Carry on, Wekesa, it's well.
Yeah, so Amir, I want to say that it was just a matter of time. I'm one person who have been saying that the fact that you began campaigning in 2017 and you are running the race alone does not make you ahead of others. Yeah, so the idea is the guy was alone in the field and he was crisscrossing the country, and people assumed his loneliness in the presidential race to be popular than anybody else. But those who are veteran in politics knew that you don't start the race that way, because you will also, first of all, you will give your opponents opportunity to analyze you, to know your strength, to know your weakness, to know your strategy, and to know even your elasticity, how far you can stretch. And so we thank God he gave us enough time to study his political matrix, and we have understood what they can do and what they can't do. A part of the challenges they are having is they know that their opponents have known their game. So when your opponent knows your game and is trying to counter it, don't complain, maybe he's copying or what. He's only countering your strategies, because you already showed him that this is your strategies. And there's nothing wrong in football in following somebody who is going to score and tackling him hard. And there's nothing also wrong with doing exactly what he's doing. So I've seen, today I was making a joke and asking myself, now that Raila Odinga was at Chaka, Nyeri, and buying cabbages and whatever, someone will say he has started buying cabbages as if they invented the agrarian revolution when agriculture came in and we had all those vegetables coming in. So Tanga has put themselves in a quagmire by where they think that going to church they invented the scriptures, where associating with the hustlers they invented the poor. In fact, when the nation began, there were 4 things that were being tackled by in 1963 by Kenyatta. Ilikuwa umaskini, ugonjwa, ufisadi na illiteracy, ujinga. So umaskini has been with us since 1963. So whether you rephrase it and call it hustlers, it remains umaskini. So don't tell us that you have invented a new economic conversation. Unasema tunabadilisha mjadala. Hakuna. Umebadilisha misamiati. In changing msamiati from umaskini to hustler, you have not changed the conversation, my friend. You have only changed the wordings. And so just as politicians move from one party to another one, you rebrand URP to UDA, and call it a new party, but you even maintain the colors. That is what we are doing. You rebrand umaskini and call it hustling, and tell us that unabadilisha mjadala. There's nothing you are changing. So let's be honest in this conversation. There are people who are taking us for a ride, and we want a candid conversation when it comes to economics. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is BBI. I have maintained that BBI was a double-edged sword. It was cutting forward and backwards. So for those who celebrated too early that BBI had collapsed, woe unto you, because this time round is going to cut backwards. The 53 billion, or round off to 54 billion that was supposed to go to the Mount Kenya, is still being demanded. So when the manifestos are put on the table, we want to look at it. Are you just offering us empty rhetoric of bottom up, or are you telling us that you're going to, this is the solutions you are going to offer to Mount Kenya? And I want to see the economic model they are going to employ in Mount Kenya that will be devoid of the issues raised by BBI, including one man, one shilling, the fair representation, and the redistribution of resources. If those issues will not be captured, then I can still say that one, Raila has the right message. Forget the hustler thing. It was just to hype us. But when we come to real discussing economic issue, Raila has the right message. The content of BBI will benefit Mount Kenya a lot. Two, Raila is on the right side. Even in the good book, I know they normally quote the good book. Even in the good book, when you are going to a house, you enter by the door. You don't sneak through the window. So Raila, by holding his horse and allowing the leaders of Mount Kenya to open a door for him, he went in the right channel. So three, Raila is charismatic. So Ruto may be charismatic. Yes, Raila is also charismatic. But now the added advantage is Raila has the right message and has the right people on his side. So that is what is going to help him. Now, last, let me talk about the Railaphobia. Railaphobia has been there on the mountain. And there are people who wanted to stretch it beyond. It's, everything has an expiry date. Even madawa, ukipewa kwa hospitali wanakuambianga uchunge the expiry date ama ukinunua product. So some people have not realized that Railaphobia had an expiry date. And one of the people who caused it to have an expiry date is the leaders of Mount Kenya themselves when they shook hands with Raila. They decided that we have to end this thing. And so, believe me or not, even if you had hated Raila, the hatred has subsided. It's not as much as it was when he worked. By the fact that he has worked with Uhuru for 4 years, there are people who have looked at him and said, kumbe, he was not a demon as we thought. Sometimes something can chase you at night and you run away, but when you look back and you gain some courage and you look, kumbe haikukuwa hata kitu, it was just my imaginary illusion. So the trip to Mount Kenya for Raila today demonstrated that Railaphobia was a mirage, and the people were imagining that he's bad, but there are those who came to see exactly and they realized he's a human being. And there are those who have worked for him for 4 years and they have realized he's a human being. So he's using Railaphobia to sell your candidature on 2022. If you are an MP, you want to be elected in Mount Kenya and you want to use Railaphobia to be elected, woe unto you. Railaphobia had an expiry date. and it has come. It was demonstrated today. I think that is my contribution. I've seen Jack Odero coming. I may not continue. He might blast me.
We've just said nobody should play safe, Wekesa. In leadership, you should prepare. When you start the fire, get prepared to be hit by the same. All the same,
Sasa juu ananitamani, sinimkatie tu sasa hivi ama
yani Jago Red.
ama acha tu nikae nyuma ya curtain, lakini aache feelings ya Ben. Anajifanya eti ana analyze politics, lakini he's just comparing two sides. So huyu Wekesa anahitaji maombi bana. So nimetulia nyuma ya tent nafuatilia. Nitakuja time yangu bana. Time yangu ikifika uniite, niko hapa.
You're almost there. Don't go too far. Karanja, had you made your contribution?
Nimeongea.
Umeongea, sasa wewe subiri hapo tusikie Mkenya imara.
Lakini mambo ya BBI nikiuliza Wekesha, haiko inakuja tu kufaidisha mambo ya Mount Kenya. Hii BBI ilikuwa all over the country. So kusema mambo ya BBI tu na Mount Kenya, hiyo kwani BBI ilikuwa imetengenezwa tu Mount Kenya? Kama tumeruhusu hizo 53 billions, hizo wabunge si wanaweza enda pale kwa nini? Kwa bunge na watengeneze hiyo mambo huko. Kama hizi 15% imewashida kuleta, hizi zingine watapata wapi? Sasa Kenya haina pesa. Tuko under crisis ya COVID na kutoka zamani hatuna pesa zenye za kulipa magavana wa kulipa hiyo nini, na hizo pesa tunakuja kuongeza, hizo zote zilikuwa PR. So kusema Mount Kenya tu ndio ilikuwa imeruhusu. BBI ilikuwa ya Mount Kenya, ilikuwa ya Kenya mzima. So ongea mambo ya Nyanza, ongea mambo ya county zote 47, tuaje kuongea tu mambo ya Mount Kenya. BBI ilikuwa imekuja kuangalia mambo ya Mount Kenya tu.
Karanja, mambo ya after all mmekuwa mkishinda election bila Mount Kenya. Mbona mnaitaka sasa?
Karanja, I'm just restricting myself to the topic. We are talking about Raila climbing Mount Kenya. So we talk about Raila and the message he's taking to Mount Kenya. I should not discuss Nyanza in a Mount Kenya topic. So I am just cutting the part of Mount Kenya in BBI and focusing on that because that I'm disciplined. I have to focus on the topic. The rest I will discuss. If we bring a topic on Nyanza, I have a conversation on that, and I get the excerpt from the BBI that discusses issues to do with Nyanza.
Yes, that is good. Lakini ukao ukijua Raila Mount Kenya ni kama kuuza nguruwe Saudi Arabia. Raila hakuna wakati atakuja kupendekeza na watu wa Mount Kenya. Leo amejaribu kwa sababu ya wale magavana walikuwa naye pale. Na nilikwambia tu mpaka mwanzo, nilikuwa kwa hiyo msafara my friend, na nimejionea
ni wa Nyanza.
Si wa Nyanza, mimi sasa tumerudi Mount Kenya. Sasa sijaongea mambo ya huko.
Ndio nakuuliza. Wewe unasema wewe unasema Raila kuuzwa Mount Kenya ni pork. First of all tumeanza. President wa Mount Kenya, yes, ana support Raila. Magovernors ni wa Mount Kenya, yes, wana support Raila.
Lakini wale
watu walikuja rally.
Unaona Wekesa? Tuko naye hapa. Lakini most of those governors let me tell you. Just listen to me. Order.
Let's not create noise. Hold on, I'm the one who gave you
Wekesa anatoka Western, anaongeleshwa na mtu alikuwa kwa msafara, hataki kusikia.
Yes, but I have some point to make.
Hold on, I'm going to give you permission to make your point.
Karanja.
But I want us to have a conversation.
Karanja.
Sir.
Wait for one person to finish their submission and then we respond. Okay?
So thank you, boss.
Good.
I think Karanja is just talking out of insecurity.
So now,
why are you so insecure, Mr. Karanja?
What wrong has Raila did in Mount Kenya?
Nothing wrong.
And what
In fact, in
justifies
Mount,
not being
in fact, in Mount Kenya, we need more visitors.
Do you have all the Mount Kenya votes in your house?
The question is, if he has not done nothing wrong, okay, why would he not be admissible?
I don't know, because President has referred to Mr. Raila as Mgangas. You know.
That you want to tell me that if I come and tell you that your pastor is a witch, you will believe me over your own pastor?
I just do my investigation. Yeah. And after my
thank you
Ben,
very much.
I think you are trying to divert our attention, Ben. Acha Karanja malize points zake. Acha Karanja malize points zake. Tumuulize maswali.
Discovering on how Raila is a witch. How far have you gone and what is your discovery?
Ben, hatukuwa tunazungumzia witch. Pea Karanja time yake amalize, tumuulize maswali.
Kwani tuko na moderator
amebakisha dakika kama 2 hivi. Mbona ukisikia mtu anakufinya unakuja na maswali zako? Mimi naomba amalize tumuulize maswali.
Lakini
hata mimi nataka kuongea. Hata mimi nataka kuongea, lakini unatumia time ya Karanja kumuuliza maswali. Acha amalize alafu nipe time yako. Mkifinywa finyaneni.
You are a veteran on this platform and you are beginning to get out of order.
Mimi nimesema ukweli. Umeleta story na mganga sijui nini.
Swali haimaanishi astaki mtu contribute. We just want to
mimi points za Karanja nazipenda. Naomba amalize alafu kama niko na swali nitauliza.
Karanja malizia Chagareto point yako.
Unaona Mr. Bernard. Hii mambo haitaki hasira. Ni most post tu. Tuliambiwa juzi hapa, hii siasa tusiweke kwa moyo. Tuiachilie tu hivyo, inakuja kama imepita. Lakini tukiweka ndani ya moyo yetu itatumiza. So, wacha nikwambie kitu kimoja. Leo nimekuwa kule msafara wa Raila. Nimekuwa kule msafara wa Raila mpaka hapa Githurai. Na tuseme kama Gavana Nyoro amekuja mpaka na watu pale amerejectiwa na watu. Hapa Githurai. Na ikisema ni kumalizia, nilikuwa nimekuambia hapo mbele, kulitokea vurugu kidogo mpaka Raila akabidi aingie ndani ya gari kwa sababu ya mawazo zenye Babu Owino walitumia. Kuna wazi Babu Owino walitumia, yani mpaka wale watu wa Githurai wakakasirika. The same thing nilikuwa mpaka Juja. So hii ni kitu nilikuwa nimeona. Na ile timu ya Raila yenye namfanyia campaign inamwangusha. Raila personally si ati ni mtu, lakini wale watu wanamfollow wanampigia campaign pale, wanamwangusha hapa kwa ground. So kwa sababu viongozi wengine ukuja, kama ni campaign unakuja kuchapa ya Raila, wachana na mambo ya Ruto. Kama ni Ruto anaenda kuchapa mambo yake, achana na mambo ya Raila. And that we have a very peaceful discussion na mambo ya 2022 tajireta.
Okay, can I ask you something? Can I ask him something, Bernard?
Okay, Olo, ask the question.
Okay, Karanja, you know,
yes.
I always there are always two things that I always say. There is objective truth and there is personal truth. You can't say that you can't refer to a group of people as if they are your cows that Mount Kenya will not vote for. Mount Kenya will not vote for.
You know, naongea hivyo cause mjadala wa siku ya leo ni wa Mount Kenya, si wa Karanja, ni wa Mount Kenya.
What I don't like is the way you are taking them in plural form. In plural form, like wako kwa nyumba, like hizo vote za Mount Kenya ziko kwa nyumba yako, ziko kwa ballot box kwa nyumba yako, mshasoma zimetikiwa ni Ruto. Hawa ni wale watu wako so independent minded. Ujui kitu yenye mtu anaenda kufanya pale hivyo kwa booth, kwa voting booth.
Unajua kitu kimoja,
so wewe just fast, I'm not finished. So wewe kama wewe una feel ati wewe huwezi votia Raila, it is okay. There are millions who will vote for him. That is your, but unajua
and that is democracy.
Insecurity sikufanye uanze kutuchokoza, kutubeba ufala ati unaweka vote zote pamoja ati Mount Kenya will not vote for Raila. You see, hiyo ni statement yenye haiko true. So it is true. Many of you will vote for Tanga Tanga, and some of you will vote for Raila. That is true, right?
But unajua Mount Kenya
ama unataka kuniambia
sikiza kwanza,
from the first man. No.
Sikiza kwanza.
Wewe ndio unisikize. Ungenisikiza kwanza.
Unajua
si nilikuwa nikikusikiza.
Karanja, wait.
Sa Bernard.
Ngoja kwanza swali limalizwe kuulizwa alafu ujibu.
Sa Bernard.
Yeah.
Sa boss.
You're making it difficult for the people to follow. And please make it brief, follow.
Okay, I just want to tell you that huwezi sema ati from the first to the last man and from the first to the last woman wote watavotia Ruto. If you are really truth to yourself, watu wa Mount Kenya walikasirika sana from ile election ya Kiambaa, because Wakikuyu kama vile mimi nawajua hawapendi watu wanajigamba, na hiyo kitu imefanya wakakasirika sana na Ruto. Hata in fact imagine lose Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria ni mtu anaweza amua amwage kitoweo na ugali yote akiamua tu. Moses Kuria akiamua tu kupata Raila, I'm telling you Ruto atapata kazi ngumu Mount Kenya. So you can't judge it now. In fact there is still a very long time. Huwezi judge saizi ati Mount Kenya wote itavotia Ruto, and yet you don't even have a presidential candidate. Let me tell you, mimi nasemanga Mkikuyu afai kutetea Ruto sana, because Ruto hata si Mkikuyu. Ona saizi vile mnatetea Ruto, ngojeni mform serikali, in any case a win. Ruto ataside na Wajaluo, alafu sasa wataanza kuwatuanga, because they always say ati au na Wajaluo ni nylon. Ndio, they can still work together, and atatumia tu formula yenye Uhuru ametumia.
Conclude your question.
Be careful when you are supporting Ruto.
Bernard,
you can respond, although I didn't get the question.
Bernard.
Yes, Andy.
Please I want to reply to this to huyo mwenye ameongea hapo mwisho.
Ngoja kwanza Andy, he was talking to Karanja. Let Karanja respond, then you can come in.
So wacha nikuambia kitu kimoja. Mimi sasa tulikuwa tunaongea discussion ya Mount Kenya. Nimekuambia most ya what followers wenye wako Mount Kenya sasa wako under Ruto.
Ujasema ulisema wote. Just
hata ni kama wote.
Unajua mimi
nikikwambia hivyo.
Unajua
hapa
and all.
Nimekwambia
hold on. Don't dispute.
Most and all are very different things.
Yes. Karanja, choose your words properly. Are you the Mount Kenya spokesman? Karanja.
I'm not a Mount Kenya spokesman. We have Madhakarua.
So just speak for your vote, okay?
Yeah. My vote.
You cannot speak for Mount Kenya.
Sorry, Mr. Bernard. But my vote belongs to Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Thank you.
Which is just one vote.
And we are happy.
Bernard. Yeah. I may agree with Oro that tuseme may Ruto may not get 100%, but what I'm very sure of, yes, we have no candidate, but what I believe between Raila and Ruto, Raila cannot be an option. That one I'm very sure of. Second, this issue of 53 billion, I am very sure that we are very sure aware that BBI was supposed to form a cocoon that will be loitering around with Raila. And I'm trying to imagine if BBI went through, Raila angekuwa na a cocoon of people or a cartel who will be either prime minister, deputy, so from so many region akina Kalonzo nini wangekuwa kwa hiyo kikundi. But what I'm very happy of is BBI ilianguka, now it is Raila and Ruto, but not those cartels. And when they will reach in the ballot, I'm very sure and I'm very 100% that Ruto will take the day. Hii kitu hii ndio ingempatia nguvu. Hiyo nini?
Okay.
Yes, I'm very sure.
I don't know whether I should call you Ruben or Wamalwa, but I'm happy for your position and your conviction, and I'm happy that you're saying you believe. We are believers here. At least I'm a believer.
Yes, we are all believers.
But not everything we believe comes out the way we believe. So
Good.
politics is partly chance, and it's not predestined. And that is why you vie in 2022 as you prepare for 2027 and pray for 2032. So that if you miss this time, you'll get it the other time. But if you say that you have to get it now and it has to be now, that is when you now begin to employ monkey business to try to make happen what you know cannot happen. All the same, we are in a free democratic country. Everybody's free to believe what they want to believe and vote for whoever they choose to vote. But it becomes erroneous when you want to make others vote for a specific person because you believe in that person and they have no choice. They have to vote for that person. That is now undemocratic and uncalled for at this point in time. All the same, can we now hear from Andy? Andy, what were you saying?
Bernard.
Yes, go on.
I think Karanja was speaking out of observation. He has observed na ameona that William Ruto is popular in Mount Kenya. He's not saying this out of that he is.
But we are also speaking out of observation. Do you think we can't observe?
Hello, please hold on until the person finishes his statement, please. Thank you.
Mount Kenya iko sama. I think we have.
No.
Goja David. Hold on, David. Andy.
Mount Kenya is just in Kenya.
Andy.
Yes.
You as at now, okay? Things may be the way they are, but that does not mean they are permanently that way. They were like where we were in 2017 before the handshake.
You know, there's something you're forgetting.
No,
there's something you're forgetting.
No, I want you to see the stand that the NASA people had in 2017 before the handshake. Have we moved from there, or we are still there?
I earlier said that Raila is getting a plus. Is not amejaribu kwa sababu there's a time when Raila could step in Mount Kenya hata hakuna mahali angeongea.
But also you must realize that si ati vote za Mount Kenya peke yake ndio zitafanya mtu ashinde.
No, my friend, stop talking out of feelings. Stop talking out of feeling. Don't be.
No. Andy, just make your point quickly. We need to move on. There are many people on the line.
Yes, what I'm saying, Karanja is speaking out of observation. Is in Mount Kenya. He said that all the rallies today. He attended all the rallies from where they started to where they ended in Githurai. Yeah, and he has seen the people's reaction.
How do we believe him?
Yes.
Maybe he's just saying to please himself.
I have videos. I have videos.
Bring the video we see.
I have videos. I have evidence.
Bring the video we see.
Or can you send me was that?
Hold on.
No, put them here.
Hello, Karanja.
No, let me speak.
Okay? Let us agree. Wakati unatembea mvua ikinyesha, utanyeshewa. Okay? Lakini mvua inyeshange milele. Huwa inakoma, alafu kuna kauka, tena unatembea chini ya jua. So your observation of the analysis of the events today, it was meant for today and how people reacted today. There is no guarantee that they will react the same tomorrow or next week. People are prone to change, and so is politics, and so is the narrative. And so we can't say that because last year they didn't want to hear Raila, this year they will not hear. Why? We are not in control of them. We can only control us.
as individuals. We can't control the masses to tell them what to think, what to say, and how to vote. So let's not assume that whatever direction we choose, even us, I come from Western, you can wake up and say you want Atwoli to be the Senate of Kakamega. That is what you want. But will Kakamega people make Atwoli their senator? They have a freedom to choose who they want to. So let us accept there is an improvement, like Andy is saying. Things have moved on, and so change will constantly continue happening. Tusiseme ati tumemaliza, kazi ndio imeanza na story ndio imeanza. So let's make progress.
Bas, sawa. Before nimalize kuongea, I want you, Bernard, to understand something. In 2013, the Mount Kenya supported Uhuru Kenyatta together with William Samoei Ruto. In 27, the Uhuru Kenyatta was being supported as the president. William Samoei Ruto was supported as the deputy president. Now, in 2017, we as Mount Kenya people voted Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Ruto as the president and deputy president respectively. Kuna kitu nataka muelewe hapa. We said it's 10-10. It is 10 for Uhuru Kenyatta, 10 for Ruto. Ruto helped the president to climb to get the votes. And it's our responsibility from the mountain to help William Samoei Ruto to become the president, because he helped our fellow. No, we don't forget that. Don't forget that.
So Andy, if I may ask, yes, is the presidency for the Mount Kenya to give to whoever they want?
But we had a stand. We cannot.
No, a question. Kwanza. The presidency is for Kenya or Mount Kenya? The presidency, is it for Kenya or Mount Kenya?
It is for Kenya, and it is for Mount Kenya.
And then Mount Kenya has the monopoly to give to whoever they want.
And why is everybody talking about Mount Kenya every time?
No, I'm asking a question, because from what you're saying, you have decided as Mount Kenya to give it to Kenyatta for 10 years, then you will give it to Ruto for 10 years, and the rest of the people can wait as long as they can wait. And Mount Kenya will decide when they will have it.
I have one question.
Yes.
I want one question. Why is everybody so concerned about Mount Kenya region? We have Western region, we have Rift Valley, we have we have a lot of regions in Kenya. We have for more than 6 regions.
Bernard, can I also speak with this guy?
Ngoja, Andy, the topic for today, we are talking about the Railaphobia and the mountain. That is why we are talking about it.
I said earlier, Raila is getting a class. I will not.
It doesn't matter whether the Mount Kenya supports Ruto or supports Raila or don't support anybody. The truth is, Kenya's presidency belongs to all Kenyans, and every Kenyan of sound mind, of right age bracket, is able to become the Kenya's president. And it's not for any community to give to anybody. It is for Kenyans to decide. So when we talk as if we are the ones that have the presidency and we're the one that give it for this period of time and take it back again, we are misleading people, and we shouldn't do that.
Okay.
And
I'm getting you, Ben.
I want to ask him something.
Okay, I'll ask me question. Anything.
Yes, I'm just against that your stereotypical stance where you just have a hard line and you don't want to get out of it no matter what. I just want to tell you that Mount Kenya is not Kenya. You see, Kenyan president is elected by all tribes, not only Mount Kenya. And Mount Kenya is not very special. We are just talking about Mount Kenya because you are very loud. You are very loud. Since 2017, you have been so loud. You can't leave other people to live in peace because of you.
and you
That
are
is
so
why we are.
concerned
But
with
anyway, you are not
the
very
mountain.
important. We can as well leave you and we go
No,
on. We go on with other communities. But because we want unity,
Make your
because we
question,
want
please.
unity,
Don't make a submission.
because we
no,
want unity, that is why we are talking about you. But we can
Aki
as well
Rosi, uko na
ignore and move
mafeelings,
on.
uko na
in
mafeelings so lo.
2017, no, as Mount Kenya, we have a stand. I'm telling you, we have a stand. We know we
Stop.
support in 2013.
Don't
We know
use the word
we
we.
support in
Don't use
2017,
the word
and
we.
we know we will
Use the
support
word
in
I.
2022.
Order,
Get
everybody.
that to the
Order,
bank.
everybody. Now let's do this.
Yes, we know where we will
Andy,
support in 2022.
you will vote the way you want to vote, either as a mountain or as individuals. You're free to. And so
yes, we know where the
rest,
majority are. We know where the majority are.
Yes, a small majority, not like before.
problem. Andy,
Not
there's no problem.
Oro, not a small majority.
A shrinking majority.
It doesn't matter. Let's meet at the
Oro,
ballot.
oro, acha
Bernard,
mafeelings
Bernard.
bana.
No, let's meet at the ballot. Full stop. Let's leave that.
Bernard.
Ngoja kwanza.
No.
If
Please.
Hapana, lakini
let me make this. Please.
Now the two of you are becoming a nuisance.
No, don't do that.
Let us relax. All right? We need to move the debate to another. Let's give other people an opportunity to contribute. Now, is that Wekesa? Okay. Somebody's trying to play video.
Bernard, please let me make this submission, please.
Okay, make it brief, please. We need to move on. Thank you.
Apart from, I'm a very honest person. Apart from what I was saying,
Bernard,
I want us to make this politics. Let's have a very honest discussion. Tusikosane kwa sababu ya politics na tusiane kwa sababu ya
sijakosana. Mimi hata sijakosana na mtu.
No,
Olo, please just let him finish his submission. We need to move on. Jack Redo is waiting. These other people are waiting, and we want to call it a day. This is in the middle of the week.
Why can't you?
So what I'm saying, Bernard, I'm a diehard of William Samoei Ruto, but the fact remains that hata William Samoei Ruto alijui ule mwingine ana support Raila Amolo Odinga, I'm sure bado anamjui. Sisi wote ni watu tupendane, tufanye politics bana, tusikonde kwa sababu ya politics. To support tu mwenye una support, na usikue na maneno mingi, ukue na makasiriko kwa sababu because of who you are supporting. Let's just have a honest discussion. Na tukae ni kama nchi zenye zimeimarika kisiasa. Tusilete politics mpaka ilete zile maneno ileta 2007. It does not make sense. I will not hate anybody because of who I'm supporting in politics. I will respect everybody as my brother, whether you come from Nyanza, whether you come from Western, whether you come from Mount Kenya. You are all Kenyans and you deserve to be respected. Yes, that's what I can say.
Order, everybody, please. Everybody keep your mic mute until it's your turn to speak. Don't force us to keep you on the bench to kikweka studio time ya kuongea, because we can do that. So please let's remain within the provisions of our debate so that the people following us can also understand what we are doing. I appreciate what Andy is saying. Let us ensure that we do our politics with an understanding that we have a country to take care of, and that country is called Kenya. And pushing your regional agenda or your personal agenda at the expense of the country doesn't paint you well in the eyes of the rest of Kenyans. So let us speak with an understanding that we have other Kenyans who also have equal rights to this company called Kenya, and they have equal shares. So we shouldn't say that we have the majority of the shares, everybody else should go home. As much as you may have the majority of shares, everybody's share counts for the health of that particular company. Those of you that understand business. Well, Jacaredo, are you there? Themba?
Yes, sir, niko hapa.
Okay, karibu Kenya. Vipi?
Someone is not muted.
You
can hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. I'm pleased to be here. I've been listening and I like the contributions by all of us. And indeed, vile wanasema kwa Kiswahili, kila mwamba ngoma uvuta ya kwake, sio? Who pays the piper plays the tune, dances the tune. First of all, just a few comments, especially kwa wale ambao wameongea kama Karanja pale na Andy. Karanja amesema alifuatana na msafara wa Raila, and definitely, if he didn't say the last statement he said, I would have thought he was objective. But you see, there's no way you can be a Ruto supporter and then you follow Raila caravan to look for positives. How will you be paid for coming and saying that Raila is gaining ground? So we will be expecting too much from Karanja to tell us that, Raila is having people are talking well. He was specifically going there to look for negativity. And even you, if I look at you and I'm looking for a negative thing, I'll say it. If that is my objective. And the objective yangu ni kuona kitu mbaya, nitaiona. So you see what you want to see. And your mission was clear. You are a Ruto person. I actually don't think we will be demanding too much from you to hear you saying that, oh, Raila is doing well, Raila is being supported in the ground. That can never come from someone on another person's payroll, because you can't follow a presidential candidate like that. Kwani hauna kazi? Ati nilikuwa na yeye tumeenda sijui Nanyuki, tumeenda Laikipia. You are not in his press team. You are not in his. Who are you? You're on someone's payroll. So, I mean, what do you expect from Karanja? But that's good for him. If that's what he's paying his bills and he's earning him something, let him keep doing at least.
Remember, mind your language, okay? You will need to substantiate whatever you're claiming.
What am I claiming?
that is on somebody's payroll. And that is what is paying his bill.
I mean, definitely, you can't follow a politician for 3 days for nothing. If they are talking about people being idle in Githurai, how idle are you? I mean, I support some politicians, but I can't follow a politician for 3 days. Ati amenda Githurai, mimi ndio huyo hapo, amenda hapi. So you must be on someone's payroll, which is okay. I also want to comment just on what Andy said. Andy is within his right to say that, oh, waliambia Ruto yangu 10 na yake 10. If we all were to reason like that, then this Kenya would be in a very interesting scenario. We would start from independence and then come kila mtu aseme sasa yangu 10 yake 10. Railas the Odingas would come in and say aliachia Kenyatta naye aseme yake 10. Kibaki aliachiwa na Raila naye aseme yake 10. So kunaweza kuwa na deni mingi sana zitafunguliwa. That's a very dangerous statement. Just campaign, go out there, sema una support Ruto, which is okay. Vitu ambazo wanasiasa wanapromisiana huko, that is for their political whatever, tuwaachie. I mean, we owe no one. In fact, hata Ruto hakujenga uhuru. It's voters. You guys went out dhuraku mkapiga nini. So let's just make it as objective as it were. Now on to the topic for today. About Raila dethroning Ruto in Mount Kenya. I think someone aliongea hapa akasema ya kwamba previously the perception around Raila has been that of a very bad person. Let's agree, you know, and he's not had that kind of support. There was a time even he went to Nyeri and he was stoned. They stoned him, you know. So when you see Ruto has been there for 4 years, which I think even these people who are here saying that, oh, Ruto cares for them, for 4 years, I don't want to go into that tangent, but we've discussed it here before. He's not done anything other than going to Mount Kenya. To the other day, there was a press conference called by some churches from Rift Valley saying that kwani yuko Mount Kenya ndio kanisa zinajengwa. So he's been doing that for the last 4 years. Campaigns haven't started. So he started campaigning. And definitely, when you start running alone, you'll think you are the only marathoner. You'll go so many rounds and you're imagining that you are the only one there. So are they right to say that Ruto has been, running there? Yeah, he has been running the race alone. Now is when people are now coming. Now when people are coming, you start complaining that why are people running with me? They should not run with me. You want to win the marathon alone. I think that is also unfair from these guys. When you see that the ground is now warming up, people are also going out there now. It's not bad. That's political competition. I'm sure Andy and Karanja wouldn't find it nice when there was no competition. Like Ruto hana mtu anashindana naye. I don't think that's also a good thing. So we need to appreciate Raila is doing whatever it is that he's doing. Let them continue. As someone said, hopefully come next year, it brings out some bit of votes from what he has been having to another, to more than that, which will be very significant to psychologically make him more of a Kenyan presidency than before, when Central has been rather not so warm for him. So I think it's a good thing, and it's happening. That's according to me. Let's not be very negative. If we are to say that everybody's on the ground, you go on the ground to look for what you want to look for. So if you are to say mimi ndio niko kwa ground, nobody has votes, ameweka kwa basket yake mahali ati hizi ni Mount Kenya tutapeleka huko. Now this guy Andy is busy saying sisi Mount Kenya tunajua. You see, even Ruto will need people from Nyanza. We'll need people from Coast. So if all of us say that sisi tunajua, so who will vote for who? Let's just say, okay, fine. Let people sell their policies. Let us support the people who want to support. Let us champion for them. Let us embrace all the other political players who are coming in. Let's warm up for those we can warm up to. And then let's have the ballot deciding who is going to be the president. That is what I can say for now.
Okay, thank you.
Then I have a question for Deba.
Yes, Wekesa.
Yeah, about Deba wedding on the contribution of people, but I still ask him the question on the main topic, which is Railaphobia. What is your view? Is Railaphobia a mirage or a reality on the ground in Mount Kenya? I know you don't come from Mount Kenya, but you can use your observation. Just as Karanja can tell us about Kakamega, you can also have the privilege of telling us the issues to do with the Railaphobia on the mountain from your perspective.
Okay, thank you so much. I have relatives in Muranga, to be specific. My brother is married in Muranga, so those are my relatives. And I can confidently report that before someone, I think a scholar intimated that there are two kinds of people in Kenya. There are those who love Raila badly, who have RailaMannia, and there's Railaphobia, those who don't like him completely. So for some reason, even what Karanja is saying, if you dig deeper, you find it's a little bit hollow, other than just saying that, we don't want. Those are the propaganda that is out there. But even when he's asked questions, why don't you like Raila? He doesn't know why. He's not able to come clearly that I don't like him because of this. So even those who hated Raila, it's not because of the person of him. It's because of what was painted. Remember, that came mostly during when Uhuru was coming in, and they went around and they said that that time Uhuru came around so much talking about Kimodo, and so people had this notion that Raila was the bad person within the protagonists. So yes, there was that picture that had been painted, yeah, and propaganda probably worked really bad. So it was voting against, not necessarily for the person they loved. There's two kinds of voting. You can vote against someone and vote for someone. So those who voted, they voted against Raila, not necessarily for Uhuru. So when you look at that, the fear may make you vote, not so much because you loved the individual. Is that changing? Yes, I think I pointed out, and I think maybe you are not listening. I pointed out and I said there was a time Raila was stoned. To see him being able to do those tours, I think it's a good thing. And we need to acknowledge campaigns haven't yet started. So it is still in the initial period. It's still in its infancy. It's still having what he is calling engagement, looking for partners, not washirika, looking for washirika, not followers. I haven't reached a point where I'm a diehard like someone here is. So he's not looking for diehard. He's looking for partners. And that's why you found Mpuru. Is it Puri who still wake up and sell Nopeu is somewhere in Laikipia. Because he's looking for partners. Now, I want to give that in contrast to what Ruto is saying. If you realize Ruto is a good politician, but there are things that he's trying to do that is causing a little bit of a rift. One of them is the idea of asking parties to fold up so that they can form one party. So he's going in to engage the people, and then he's having this sense of let's say, grandiose personality, where he thinks that he's everything, even in Mount Kenya, and that is causing the issues with Moses Kuria and several other parties. I don't know how that will play out, but I think that's also playing to the advantage of Raila at the moment. So yes, he's warming up. They're warming up here.
Okay, thank you, Themba. I think that settles it. Can we hear from Mike, then Collins, and then Matere in that order? Mike.
Thank you for the opportunity, Bernard. Just to go back, a few observations I made. I had a gentleman mention that the Mount Kenya people are very principled. What they promise, they deliver. They promise Ruto that they will give him votes after Uhuru, and they are here to honor their deal. If we use that as the benchmark, then history should help us give them the account of what debts they need to pay, and they are very historical. They go as back as 1963, and this is where the problem is. Most of our viewers or people discussing have not really taken time to understand the history of Kenya, and that's why it has been very good for Ruto to Deputy Ruto to target a certain demographic group of people who don't understand the politics of Kenya. I want to go back to that, but I will still tell you about very many things, including the DP telling us that BBI was to bring back the imperial system, which we fought so hard. And you'll see 25-year-old boys and below clapping for him, not knowing that it is actually DP Ruto who fought the constitution. But they believe that he's actually the one who fought for the for the 2010 constitution, which he benefits much. So the history shows us that if people were to pay debts, then we can start with Jaramogi Odinga, who refused to take the presidency, which was given to him on a silver platter by the colonialist. And he said, until Jaramogi is out, I'm not willing to take the office. So if there's a debt to be paid, then
until Kenyatta is out, not Jaramogi.
Yeah, until Kenyatta is out. Then we fast forward, we come to Kibaki. There is an article that has been written by very many people who are close to the NACA or the Rainbow Coalition that shows how much Raila was involved in getting even Kibaki get medical attention, including paying for his ticket to London, including taking him personally to the airport, including campaigning for him, including saying Kibaki Tosha against the grain of the Nyachais who became enemies because of what he said. So Raila did that. If we were to talk of owing, I think that is one of the best debts somebody would pay. Somebody who has helped you out of a hospital, not just campaigning for you. But this debt we are talking about does not also exist, because if you look at the current constitution or the arrangement Uhuru had with the deputy, they shared the presidency. Ruto had 50%, and in fact, the 50% of the cabinet was those offices you call big offices: finance, agriculture, energy. Uhuru was remaining with the tourism, forestry, and other and other offices. So in the 10 years, Uhuru and Ruto have shared equally. Because if now Ruto becomes president, then he'll have 20 years of presidency, which will not benefit Uhuru. So let's remove that thing of honoring debts, because there are very many other debts to be paid. Now, coming to the issue of is Raila scaling up the mountain? Something you also need to look at you need to do a very good analysis to understand what Raila is looking for in the mountain. The mathematics shows us that Raila only needs 10%. He does not need to take over Mount Kenya from Ruto. Even if Ruto kept 70% of Mount Kenya and lost just 10% or 20%, that would be very devastating to him. If you remember very well, Raila has won elections without Mount Kenya vote. The 2013 election had all Mount Kenyans vote to the last man, including people who are in hospital, including people who are bedridden. They were carried to vote for Uhuru. And still Raila won. Basically, that is what many people say, including people in Jubilee like Murkomen, who was quoted saying, if we are pushed to the wall, we shall say how we stole the elections. So that is on record. So if Raila is scaling the mountain, he's not scaling to take over or to topple Ruto.
Wacha propaganda wewe. Stop propaganda. Talk the
He's not
fact.
fighting. He's not fighting to take over Ruto. He's only looking for 10% of the votes that can help him get that 1% of the 51% that is required. So the idea of scaling to topple Ruto does not exist. For me, Ruto has a control of Mount Kenya, and there's very little we can do between now and 2022. All Raila is looking for is 10%, which he can get through votes or through the algorithm that helped Jubilee get the 1%. I think that helps me sum up what I think about the scaling up of the mountain. Wamala, you have issues about the 10% that Raila is looking for, or what were you saying?
There's something
telling
Mike
us
once
that
said about
Raila
Raila,
won
I think he
20.
remembers, that the problem with Raila, you cannot love him or hate him in full. And he said that there's something called Railaphobia and RailaMannia. I think there's no day like the day we saw on 30th. There was RailaMannia, people came out in passion to be with him. There was Railaphobia, those who feared and stayed away. Karim Brighton.
Thank you.
Okay, Wekesa, thank you for that. Where is Wamalwa?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Wamalwa?
was telling that. Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
I was
What
telling
was
that Rust guy that told us Raila on 2013 is a fake, and he should not repeat such a mistake again. Raila has never won, and he will never win, and he will never come to anything called presidency in this country.
Wamalwa? Based on what? Because he cited a statement that was given by an insider. You are citing who?
That kuna kitu kama hiyo insider, that is a propaganda, and he should have evidence, not a, hapa hatujakaa kueneza
Mimi
propaganda.
nakuuliza wewe uko na evidence ya kusema yale unayosema?
Yes.
Kwa sababu hata Chief Justice is on record to have said that.
Me as a voter and somebody in Galoud, I can tell you Raila has never won any election in this country, and he'll never win, and he'll never come to anything in president.
I don't want to bash you like you complain about Mugambi, but please come small. I've advised you as a young person, learn and then articulate your issues based on the evidence you are claiming to get from. Kama mtu ameongea kama Murkomen was the majority leader in the Senate in 2013. He was the starring of the Jubilee elections. So he knows more about Jubilee than you do. You are just a voter. Then the Chief Justice, the one the case was brought to, and the case was not dismissed because Raila did not win. It's the evidence that were filed at the wrong time, technicalities. So from the Chief Justice, there was a high probability of that election being thrown out if the evidence was filed the right time, the right way. So we cannot just brush off things because we don't believe in it. You know, voting and winning election is not a matter of believing in what you voted. It is the votes that were cast, counted, and then declared. If somebody messed with it, we have records that we can go and counter check. For example, in the Supreme Court, why when the NASA people said we'll count the votes, and the president's lawyer, what did he say? He said he cannot allow that until he has consulted his client. And when he consulted his client, what happened? They declined. There is no recounting. So let's be objective every time, not just oppose things. Thank you.
Bernard, maybe just...
Okay. Yes, Mike. You are the one to the
Bernard,
floor as you conclude, and then we hear from
just to help, sorry, Bernard, just to help Wamalwa, yeah, the people, including our very respected deputy president that you so love, in 2007 he spent 2 days in KICC trying to defend a stolen election. You can go to YouTube and get that clip. He actually never changed his clothes. During that time, Tarakanidi had 170% voter turnout. I hope you understand maths when you say 170. It means the voters were more than the registered members. And even with that, they were not able to even get the right number. So the facts are very clear. It doesn't need a genius to know the facts, but that is what under the bridge. We are talking about the realities now going ahead. That indeed, Raila needs very little support. He doesn't need to topple the deputy president in Mount Kenya to get the 1% that he needs to add to his solid. You need to understand that the regions that Raila has fanatical following have not changed. In any case, the pastoralists have now ganged up and they are saying they are not going to work with anybody other than somebody who has been with them. And if you read between the lines, that person is Raila. Coast is also a solid block. So is Nyanza and Western. The people that you get excited about following the deputy in Western are people who are actually just on a payroll. Other than that, there is nothing that they can deliver to Ruto. The person who was the other day calling Ruto a thief, like Boni Halwala, is the one who is telling you that he has numbers. So we need to be very realistic and remove emotions in the facts that are already before us. So I think we need to be very objective and appreciate that that Mount Kenya is key, and that's why everybody is going there. We cannot ignore it. Somebody was asking, why is everybody going to Mount Kenya? The fact is that Mount Kenya holds a very big number, and if you can sway that number on your side, of course you have a head start. But the fact is that Raila does not need to sway the whole of Mount Kenya for him to get votes. He has been getting presidents without the votes of Mount Kenya. But with the help of the friends that he has, he will get those numbers. The phobia and the people who owe Raila are the people who have demonized him for the last 50 years. And I think they are owning up to that. And that's why Raila is targeting the old men who have spent 50 years since independence demonizing the Odinga family. And when you ask them, they'll tell you the facts that there is nothing substantially wrong with Raila as a person. If you ask the likes of SK Macharia, if you ask the likes of the elders in Mount Kenya, they'll tell you there's nothing they can put a finger on Raila other than the political mechanization that people had to bring in to make sure that they get mileage and block Raila from Mount Kenya. So these are people who have worked with Raila. If you ask SK Macharia, an old man who was being fought by the Kanu regime when DP Ruto was in the cabinet, he will know who his friend is, because this is a person who helped him when he was in trouble. So he cannot abandon. So some of the people in Mount Kenya wonder why old men like SK Macharia are stuck with a person who is not popular in Mount Kenya. They have a personal experience.
Can I come in now?
Okay, please. If we follow that kind of a guy, I can foresee a second treason in this country. Please prepare either psychologically so that he will never and he will not again show himself again as president. Let him loiter everywhere in the mountain. But if he follow people like Mike, definitely Raila will show himself in a whole pack. And we don't want that to be repeated. Let him retire peacefully without any second treason. Because if he try the second one, he may be jailed. Please, don't let Raila not believe that he is just looking for 10%. Remember, we have Akina Mudavadi, we have Akina Kalonzo, they have gone out and they brought around 20% of those. 20% of. I'm sure he will not get those 20%. 20%.
Wekesa, can I ask a question?
I think it was my turn to contribute, please. It is my turn now. I was supposed to come in after Mike. Wekesa?
Oh, Bennett has left. Sorry for that. Bernard was moderating. So who was next?
It was me, Collins.
It was me, Collins. Okay, so Collins, there's an echo. There's an echo.
There's an echo. There's an echo.
Can't let's mute before if I give you a chance, then you unmute, huh? For the sake of our audience. So let's do this. Ayaka, you wanted to ask who a question?
I want to.
Is it a contribution or a question? You're on mute, Ayaka.
Oh, okay. Are you getting me now?
Is it a contribution or a
Is
question?
it a contribution or a question?
A question.
Okay, ask and then Collins.
Okay, ask then Collins to.
Is Ruben still around? Or he left?
He's not there, so let
He's not there, so let
Collins go, and then when he comes back,
and then when he comes back.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. I want to say something about the topic of the day, about Raila going to the mountain. There's something that many of you guys are not saying, or maybe you've not seen, about Raila going to the mountain. Remember, the deep state is working closely with Raila as we head towards 2022. So this trip by Raila, or tour, has been planned for a very long time. If you see the way Raila is moving, you can see the footprints of the deep state all over. The richest men in Kenya are supporting Raila in that tour. We're talking about the tycoons from Mount Kenya. They've all been mobilized to support Raila Odinga. We're talking about governors from Mount Kenya. They've all been mobilized to support Raila Odinga. Now, that one tells you one thing. When it comes to financing Raila's tour, it is well oiled. When it comes to mobilization and underhand tricks by the deep state, the deep state is playing its part. So the crowd that you saw today, the many rallies that Raila did today. Remember, Raila never does so many rallies. He always does 1 or 2 rallies, but today he did about 8 or 9. That one tells you there's another force behind that is working closely with Raila. So the deep state has played its role, and it has done groundwork, and it has prepared the people, not even the entire people. According to me, the crowds that were welcoming Raila were prepared. And they were prepared by the deep state, the governors, and the tycoons from Mount Kenya. So to say that Raila now is accepted in Central, I will not say that. I'll take that one with a pinch of salt. Because as we approach 2022, it's going to be clear that whatever, okay, for example, whatever happened today, according to me, that is the best they can do. That is, according to them, they've performed, they have scored an A. So they cannot go better. They cannot do better than that. That was because they have been planning this for months or even years for this to happen. Remember, this tour is supposed to change the people's mind. They're supposed to come with all those euphoria so that the people can change their mind and follow the route of the deep state. But if you saw what happened in Naromoru, what happened in Chaka, Juja, and Githurai, there were some pockets of resistance, you know, and according to me, the way I'm insisting, deep state was very much present in the tour. And when I talk about deep state, we're talking about NIS, we're talking about CID, we're talking DCI, we're talking about police in plain clothes. So any resistance that could have come from the crowd is easily and quickly countered and neutered by the deep state. But now, as we approach the elections, we're going to have many rallies. You'll not be having that you've planned something for only one region. You'll need to rush to Nanyuki. You'll need to go to Mombasa. So the deep state will be somehow stretched and overwhelmed, and it's going to be difficult for Raila to pull such moves in Mount Kenya. There's something that Mike said, that Raila needs only 10% of Mount Kenya. That is a very big lie. Raila needs the entire Mount Kenya to become the president, for the following reasons. If Raila maintained his traditional strongholds, that's when we can say he only needs 10% of Mount Kenya. Remember, they're swearing in at Uhuru Park January 31st, 2018. Remember, Kalonzo did not go, Wetangula did not go, Isaac Ruto did not go, Mudavadi did not go. From that day up to date, the relationship between those guys and Raila has been worsening as we approach the election. So you cannot tell me that Mudavadi is just going away alone from Raila's corner. You cannot tell me that Wetangula, who's the kingpin of the Bukusus, is going away alone. You cannot tell me Kalonzo Musyoka, who was proven to be the kingpin of
Mudavadi is not kingpin of Bukusu. Kindly put your facts right.
Wetangula, sorry.
Yes.
Wetangula, sorry. So you cannot tell me that Kalonzo, who's the kingpin of Ukambani, is going away alone. Those guys are moving away with more than 4 million votes. On the minimum, 3 million votes. Are you getting it? So if you tell me that Raila needs only 10% of Mount Kenya, 10% of 6 million votes or 5 million votes, Mount Kenya votes, is 500,000 or 600,000 votes. How will that make him? How will that replace 3 million? That is a big lie. People are lying to you. And the way, if you see the way Raila is moving with Uhuru, and the way they really want to change the tide in the mountain, that one tells you they really need that vote. And for the last 4 years, William Ruto has undergone hell on earth from the deep state in an attempt to neuter him politically, especially in the mountain. That is where the war has been, and that's where the war is politically. So at the moment, Ruto has an upper hand in the mountain, and that one is not going down well with the powers that be. Remember, also Mudavadi is venturing into Mount Kenya. This weekend, Mudavadi had a very successful rally somewhere in Nyeri. He had a very huge crowd. I haven't heard people saying now that the tide has changed to Mudavadi's favor. Nobody's saying that. People are only saying the tide is changing to Raila's favor in Mount Kenya after today's rallies. That one tells you Raila has a well-oiled communication team, and the deep state communication team, especially in the social media, even in the mainstream media. So if something happens, they can easily communicate very well to the masses and try to make an impression that this is how things are going. But when it comes to crowds, even Mudavadi had a very huge crowd. Raila in the last elections gave Kalonzo the deputy presidency candidacy. And if right now he doesn't give Kalonzo Musyoka that's the same position, how will Ukambani vote for him, for example? Why should they vote for him? You know, those are the issues that you are supposed to consider before you say Raila needs only 10% of Mount Kenya. Another thing, He talked about the political parties that Ruto is not willing to have many political parties support him. Ruto is a master strategist. He knows the danger of allowing many political parties to support you. Let's say, for example, he allows TSP, he allows CC or whatever of Kuria, he allows NAK Kenya, he allows all these parties. Then at the last minute, they change their mind. They say, we have shifted, we are going to Raila. You know the euphoria that it will cause? It will be a huge euphoria which can easily dent his political journey. Number two, in the history of this country, we have seen sides that are supported by many political parties usually end up having a very difficult time in winning the election or justifying the win. For example, in 2007, ODM insisted on a single political party.
Now, kindly begin at 202 if you want to be credible. Begin at 202.
In 2002, there were many parties, but they coalesced into one party called the NAC.
But they remained parties. They remained,
but they did not vie. When we went to the elections, as they had one main party. Even Raila Odinga vied on.
It was a coalition umbrella.
Coalition umbrella, yes, but it was also a political party, registered political party, NAC. That is where 80% of the people vied on. You get it? In fact, 90% of people in the opposition, they vied on that party. Come to 2007, Raila again and his Pentagon colleagues insisted on having only one political party. You saw the way they performed. Up to date, the whole world believes Raila won that election. Come 2013, Raila had so many parties supporting him. There was ODM, there was Wiper, there was I don't know which party, and I think that one affected his performance in the 2013 elections. But Jubilee insisted on only one party, though Najib Balala came with his own small party and Charity Ngilu. But it was not an easy thing within the Jubilee or within TNA and URP. It was, you saw that election. Up to date, the people who believe Uhuru Ruto did not get the 50%. They were pushed at the last minute. You know, but in 2017 they coalesced into one party. Many parties were forced to fold up and join Jubilee Party, and that one gave them momentum, and they won the election with 54%. So the same thing now. If you go into this election with many parties, believe me, you will not win it. You will not win it. But if you go with fewer parties or even one party, the lesser the better. Remember, politics is like war. When you're organized, when you have one leader, one order, one direction, one general, one flow, things happen. But when you have many generals, many tactics, you'll get confusion and you will not win the election. So Moses Kuria and Kiunjuri thought maybe they'll use their parties to bargain for deputy presidency.
Can that be said to the current regime of Israel, where the biggest party lost of Netanyahu and the coalition parties won?
I'm talking about the context of Kenya.
Now, you see, you are misleading us because you are telling us about the general. A general happens everywhere, you know. You're talking about military, and when you have one general, it's easier to win. So a general cannot apply in Kenya, and it does not apply in Israel.
Okay. I'm not so much aware about what happened in Israel, but I'm sure the same principle I'm trying to say applies there. Even if it was a big political party that lost, maybe the other parties also, maybe they were coalesced into one umbrella. I don't know. I'll have to find out about it. But whatever I'm saying, it's a fact. The lesser the parties,
it's not a fact, kindly. It doesn't add up what you're saying. You are trying to force the script because in 2002, the one political party KANU lost. The others were coalition. That's why LDP, when they were MOU failed, they came out. So it was not one party. So kindly, if you come up with analogy, be able to substantiate. If you can't substantiate, don't qualify it. It can't
Okay, sir,
be
can
a
I
fact.
ask Collins a question?
Yes, please.
Now, Collins, you've said that, since the coalition agreement that NASA had fell through, Raila has not maintained the same political base. That's your position. And in your submission, you seem to suggest that Kalonzo is still the kingpin of Ukambani, right?
Yes.
What makes you think that because NASA has fell through, Kalonzo is still the Ukambani political base, yet Raila's political base has changed? Because I think, to be fair to your reasoning and your logic, if change is happening to any politician, is happening across board. Don't you think so?
Yeah, and remember what he is also forgetting is that he's quoting Raila and forgets that Ruto was with Uhuru. Now, Ruto has lost Uhuru, but he believes the political pairs for Ruto is intact. But for Raila, who lost Kalonzo and Mudavadi, has changed. You see, he's arguing on one way. He's not.
No.
You need to look both sides of the coin and tell us all of them, their political pace has changed, so they need to craft a new political pace. All of them.
Let me explain. Let me explain to you about that. You know, we have had tests for these politicians. We have had more than 10 by-elections in this country. Kalonzo Musyoka retained his region, Ukambani, during the Machakos senatorial election. Mudavadi retained...
After president intervention, it's good to mention that. After president intervention telling Nani Chap to drop out of the race, that's 3 days to an election. You need to mention that.
But I think it's also important to make him understand that, yes, we measure by numbers. Currently, the UDA that he purports to be fairly popular has lost in all the by-elections apart from one. And even that one, they struggled to win. So it is interesting that he can still say that, it is based on the results, but the people that is claiming to be winning are winning by struggling. If after you have campaigned in Kiambu for over 4 years, you can only manage. Actually, Moses Kuria gave the real picture on the ground. He said he had gone to field a candidate. Then he was requested to bring down his candidate because the UDA guys, according to their own statistics, they were trailing the Jubilee candidate, right? So you see, when you have campaigned for 4 years and then you are coming to struggle in a by-election within a place where you have spent so much, I think it should be something to worry. And then when people like, Karanja come here and tell us ground to meamua, yet you can't give a candidate 100%. You see that if you're talking about numbers, then I think that is leaves a lot to be more to worry about. Collins.
I said the by-elections were a test for these politicians. Mudavadi retained Matungu or won Matungu. That one means he has grown politically in Western. Wetangula won within Bungoma. Kalonzo won in Ukambani. Uhuru lost in Central. That one tells you how things are. So,
and Kalonzo, what does it say? Okay, what does it say about UDA?
No, I'm coming there. Kalonzo, Mudavadi, and Wetangula, I can say they still control their regions, at least substantially. But for even Raila won Migori. Remember Migori? Raila won Migori. against an assault by
For Wetangula, I will be very wrong to accept what you're saying, because out of the 5 MPs of Bungoma County, which Wetangula controls, all of them are in UDA, including whoever won on Fort Kenya right now is siding with UDA. So if you tell me he controls his county, I don't know. He controls by what? Because and then the only governor who is on Fort Kenya is in the handshake. So he has no elected leader who is following him. When you tell me as he controls his area, I wonder which script you are reading from.
It's okay. If they are in UDA, maybe it's the one who sent them there. We don't know. But my point is, Uhuru for a fact has lost Mount Kenya. He has lost Mount Kenya, and that was a test that was done. About Kuria stepping down, you're telling his candidate to step down.
But Collins, you see, you need to be honest with yourself. Uhuru is not vying in 2022, right?
Exactly. But
so if Uhuru is not vying in 2022, Uhuru is doing something. He's saying, if you want Mount Kenya, go negotiate with the people. I don't have the votes. I have only 1 vote. All right?
Yeah. But
so he's saying, listen, he's saying that I don't want to keep looking like I'm the one actually going to campaign for you. Go campaign for yourself. Go there. If you need the people, talk to the people. The people are the ones who are going to give you votes. Because listen, if Uhuru will be going with Raila everywhere, your campaign slogan will be different. And that is what you guys had started. You had already started that there are those people who are waiting to be given, to be endorsed. Yet, when you turn back the coin, you start saying yangu kumi, yako kumi. So the endorsement was supposed to be going elsewhere. But now the endorsement wasn't working. So let's keep Uhuru out of the place. Let's keep the people who are running on the place. There are people who are running. Uhuru does not have to control Mount Kenya. Uhuru has no business even campaigning for anyone. Uhuru has no business in Mount Kenya campaigning. Uhuru is not running in 2022. Let's talk about the people. We don't need to control voters.
He's one pulling the strings right now.
This business you guys keep telling us Uhuru has no control.
Whether he pulls the strings or not, he will not be a running mate of Raila. Raila will choose a different running mate. So we will base Ruto and his running mate, Raila and his running mate. So the choice will be whether Raila will choose a running mate from Mount Kenya or a different area, whether Ruto will choose a running mate from a different area. So we'll base 2 people on the ticket. We will not base on who is supporting. Anybody can support, but we don't base people on their supporters. We don't base on the running candidates. I don't know who is that. There anytime you open your kindly check your. You might have opened more than one link. Check and then you come back. Matere.
So, you should tell Collins to stop this thing of propaganda of Sijui Uhuru has lost Mount Kenya. Uhuru is not in the ballot box come 2022. And it is not about him to work with Raila everywhere. When Raila worked with him, all of you started making noise that you see even Uhuru is not doing this. Oh, they are waiting for Uhuru's endorsement. When Uhuru meets Raila in State House in Mombasa, you are busy all over. Oh, you see, they are now following him. Wanasumbua Uhuru. When he's not working with Uhuru, oh, you see, why is Uhuru not following him? You guys have no agenda, no business, nothing. So now you're coming back here with one other thing. Now you see, Uhuru has lost Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is not in anybody's votes, not anybody's pocket. Even Uhuru doesn't have them. You go to meet the people. And that is what Raila is doing. And that is what you need to be telling us. Do you think right now?
Yeah. And being fair to the topic, Collins.
Yes.
I think what Raila is doing, he will still allow you to vote for your candidate. But he's removing that energy where you come from home and go and vote against Raila. Like you have a beef with Raila. He's just removing that. He's just saying, I am a normal person like any other. So if you love Ruto, go and vote for Ruto. But don't run from home because you are going to vote against Raila. That is the idea behind Railaphobia, and neutralizing that, removing that tag, so that people vote based on ideas. If you think Ruto has the best ideas, go for him. If you think Raila has the best idea, go for him. But that Railaphobia is what is being removed. And if removal can affect, even if it's not a vote given to Raila, but even a vote not given to Ruto, then that changes the matrix also.
It's okay. It will have an impact. Whatever you're saying will have an impact. But you guys, one thing you always don't want to talk about is the issue of the other Oka guys. You cannot ignore those people. That one I can tell you for sure. You cannot ignore those people.
That one I will tell you straight in the eye. In fact, what is happening, the strength of Raila and the strength of Ruto is going to There's someone whose mic is completely okay. I don't know how to help Matere. Matere, kindly just leave the Nini, switch off your phone, then switch on, and end up with a link. It will remove all those opened links that you have.
But Collins, how do you want us to help the Oka guys? Oka guys should be having their communication team. Now, when people come here, we would like a situation where even the Oka guys come in and tell us what is it that they think. But I want to tell you, number one, is that they don't seem, all of them, actually Kalonzo, Mudavadi, and even Wetangula, they don't seem to have a base. If they do, then they need to tell us. Now, you talked about politics shifting. It has shifted across board. It has shifted for Ruto. It has shifted for everybody. So that's why Ruto noticed early, and then he started campaigning 4 years ago. For 4 years, he's not even earned what we are paying him to do. He's been trying to look for votes. Yes, sir.
And remember, before that, there's something he's saying about Oga guys. On 30th, Gideon is going to declare his stand. We already know where he stands. Oga was a waiting point. It's a launch, waiting for which direction are we going. Believe me, there will remain one or two people. Whether they will run individually or agree, that is another different thing. But whoever will remain at the middle, when we have two serious horses, whoever will remain at the middle will be neutralized. Look at how Punguza Mziko came and people said it's a good idea. But because it was not championed by the strong forces, it was neutralized and it became like nothing. So when you see how Mudavadi left 2013, disgruntled, and went to start his own party, and people thought that he will take away the Western vote. He ended up with 300,000 votes. When Kalonzo ran alone, he ended up with 800 votes. You know, when you run alone, even your base, where you come from, people doubt that you are taking them anywhere, and you lose credibility. So you will see, just as the horses are shaping up, these people will take sides. You will see those who will take side with Ruto. There are those who will take side with Raila. But right now, people standing at the middle, you will not see. There will not be a strong force at the middle. That one we can bet.
It's okay. I wanted to ask Themba. There was a time, let's say early 2018, just after the handshake. There was a time Ruto was walking around with about 30 governors, let's say 25 on the lower side. That is Jubilee governors plus NASA governors. He had managed to convince some NASA governors to support him, like Ojamong, like this guy from Kitale, Haemba, and others. Then all of a sudden they all disappeared, and none of them wants to be seen with Ruto up to date. Why?
You see, you're probably, as we move towards the election time, you're going to see a lot of movement. So it's right now it's political calculation. Like someone saying, you cannot tell so much out of the people who are working. And you know, Raila has noticed that. I don't want to work so much, because even when you're going to a place,
even those elected leaders are going to be facing stiff competition from other aspirants who will be coming. And you see, that's a problem that Ruto has faced. He worked a lot with the elected leaders, and then there was a lot of drama that came from aspirants when they said that, hey, there are people who are coming to the ground and they're saying that you've already endorsed them. So that's another issue that all the presidential candidates are going to face. When you work with elected leaders who some of them actually are not popular in the ground, then you're going to face a backlash. So one thing I can tell you for sure is, as we move forward, there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of movement, and a lot of calculations that are coming from different people.
Let me rephrase the question.
Thank you. Can I bring in Ayaka and Karanja?
Last question, please. Last question. I just want to rephrase the question. If today governors start, let's say from Central or from Western or from Coast, they start going to rallies with Ruto, will they survive even for 2 months?
It depends with what governor is, because we have two kinds of governors. We have governors who are going to be re-elected, and we have those who are finishing their term. So those who are finishing their term don't care. They can go around with anybody. But those who are going to be re-elected will be sensitive to the mood in the ground. Because those who are finishing their term, they're trying to secure their position come next government.
Demba, answer him straight. Answer him straight. There is a governor of ODM called huyu wa Turkana anaitwa nani? Nanok.
Nanok,
He left ODM. Kitambo has been working with Ruto every meeting he goes. Has he lost his governorship? No. Does he ODM dominate his region? Yes. Has he been impeached? No. So that script does not hold water. The people who are impeached had issues. All the Rift Valley governors are under Ruto. In fact, they even insult the president and nothing has been done to them. So don't tell us that
Ruto has leverage of the oil. If he's touched, he will not mind that oil. So don't.
No, I know what you're trying to bring across, but right now nobody's interested in impeaching anyone. In fact, you'll not see anybody being impeached.
My point was,
right now you won't see anybody being impeached.
The governors are scared, they've been intimidated. But
no, nothing. That's what they're telling you. When Guru took herself to USCC so that she can move to UDA.
She hasn't moved yet.
She has given suggestions. She's moving to UDA. So she started by saying that she's being harassed.
As we approach the election,
anybody who wants to move,
other guys. Okay, let's pause. Let me bring in Ayaka and Karanja. There's also Seth and material. Ayaka.
Okay.
Ayaka.
Thank you very much, Wekesa, Temba, Collins. I think huyu ndio Seth, Pastor Seth, or if I'm not wrong. I'm good. So, okay, thank you very much. I'm here because of Karanja and Ruben. I'm tired. I was supposed to be sleeping. I went to Nanyuki yesterday at around 10, and I was there up to morning, and even me, I myself, I was there under this umbrella of Young Aspirant Kenya, YAK. We never knew that the rally Raila will move from there by road to Githurai. We were not aware until we were told, now let us go to where, I don't know those places, is when we realized that we will be going to Nairobi by road. So I want to tell people one thing, and it caught many people off guard. You know, what people actually should discuss, those who are not organized rallies, nobody mobilized people. It was just a rumor that Raila is coming to this direction and people are just getting out to come and watch him or listen to him. You never see a printed t-shirt. You know, if you see a printed t-shirt like those UDA people, it tells you there was a mobilization that took place. It was a prepared thing, because if they could have knew, Dennis Itumbi could have posted yesterday that Raila will be moving. Dennis Itumbi got it wrong from Saturday. He proposed a church for Raila Odinga. It was wrong. He never knew Raila will move that way. So let me narrow myself to Railaphobia before I answer Karanja. What is a phobia? That is what many people don't know. And what is a mania? That is what many people don't know. A phobia is where Raila was sold as an evil in central Kenya. And when did that started? Many people don't know. That thing started at around 206. Yes, 206, because from 202 to around 205, until we have a referendum, Raila was a jamba in central Kenya. And from 206 heading to 207, that's when they start selling Raila as a bad character to the people of Mount Kenya. Why? Because number one, Mount Kenya had interest in presidency. They have one of their own. Like we from, let us say I'm from Rareda, I'm from Siaya. If you tell me Raila is in ballot, I don't need him to campaign there. I will vote him automatically. So Mount Kenya, they were voting against Raila because one of their own was going to be the president. And that ended in 2017. And now they need to change the tact. When they're changing the tact, they are looking for interest. Collins, politics is about interest, not feelings. Even if Ruto have emotional feelings with kumi yangu kumi yako, politics is interest. The owners of Mount Kenya will go down and look at who is serving our interest. And if William Ruto is serving their interest or will serve their interest after the presidency, they will give him. If they have seen that is not real and Raila is the best that can serve the, in politics there is no enmity. There is no enmity between Raila and Kalonzo. And you could have told us, why is Okoa Kenya not working? Gideon, in the near future, Gideon will announce his presidency. Musani has done that. Kalonzo has done that. And after that, people are going to negotiation. Where are you going to negotiate with? People are going to negotiate with numbers. These people are not in fighting. They are in a disagreement in interest. But let me tell you, Musalia Mudavadi you are talking about can easily support Raila more than Ruto. Same to Kalonzo Musyoka, same to the other people. And that's why we are saying our side, the NASA side, is still intact. Even with those small political differences, we can actually move somewhere. I'm wondering, my brother Karanja, who was in the when the convoy was now past Nyeri, somewhere called Sijui Muididi, heading to Juja, Kenol heading down to Juja. There was some resistance because they have now seen the movement from, and they were planting some few people there to do the heckling. There was no resistance. I was up to Gidurai. There was no heckling. In fact, those people start dancing when we are approaching Clayworks. Do you know where Clayworks is? Opposite Ishule ya Kinouru, Brook House, Brookside. Yeah, we were moving down. When we passed Clayworks, all borders and everybody were there with us. People were dancing. So by telling us today now that it was this and that. That is very wrong. I think I'm almost done. I'm seeing everybody is leaving. I think people are tired. Even me, I'm very tired. From yesterday, I've not slept. So anybody who want to, I have even seen some videos in my phone here. I will be sending them in our WhatsApp group. I have a lot of information. I can't go there and walk empty-handed because I was in that convoy all along. I had some people. There were just few people who were planted somewhere past Juja when they were now shocked. There is shock on the ground that it is true now Raila is being welcome in every stage he went. Now past Madeira is when we start have few women, few people back very far away
But
settling.
Ayaga,
Yes,
Ayaga,
yes. Yeah.
I will also
I
be
will also
surprised
be
if there
surprised
was
if
no,
there was
even
no,
if there were
even
two,
if there
three
were
people
two, three
resisting,
people
because
resisting, because
let's give it
let's give it
to him.
to him.
Ayaga, mute,
I
let
have
me
made
finish.
to let me
There's some echo.
there's some.
Yeah, so I'm saying I will also be surprised if Raila had just a smooth ride on Mount Kenya and he has never been there. We expected, even if there are two, three people. Even the deputy president, when he went to Narumoro, he had issues with the people of nani, huyu jamaa anaitwa nani, Kanini Keka. So in politics, there will be all those one or two people who will not agree with you. But the question is, was the trip successful? Even Jesus' journey to Jerusalem was not that triumphant as people think. There was resistance. But the question is, did he manage to achieve what he wanted? So Raila has Raila managed to achieve what he wanted on Mount Kenya? Definitely yes, because
Definitely yes, because
that optics,
that optics, that
that
optic that
Raila
Raila
cannot be told on the
cannot be
mountain
told on the
where it
mountain where
fell
it
flat.
fell flat.
Another echo.
Another echo.
So,
Yeah, yes.
yeah, so for me,
Yeah,
I
so
think
for
that
me,
is what
I
I
think
wanted
that
to
is what
say.
I wanted to say.
In a rally,
In a rally, there will always,
because at the end of the day, there are
at the end
people
of the
who
day,
will
there
compete,
are people who will compete,
who will support you.
who will support you.
I don't know whose mic is
I don't
that.
know whose mic is that. I think Wekesa, it is mine. I wanted to wrap up. I'm tired as from yesterday. I want to take rest.
Okay.
Okay. The trip was not planned. The trip was something that happened in I don't know how I can describe it, but it was successful. If my brother here Karanja followed us from Juja, I was there from Nanyuki, so it was successful. It was well. Number one, if a political rally is not planned and you see people turning up, one thing is telling you, either these people has been gagged, they have been gagged to receive you, or they have been longing to see you, but the opportunity is not there for them to see you. Finally, as I'm concluding, my brother Karanja, politics is a two-way traffic. Each and every politician will sell his ideas. Ruto was in Migori the other day, sell his ideas. I wish him well. It is good. The other day, Temba, you will remember, the other day these guys were asking us, Raila is a lone ranger. He's just going to Mount Kenya alone without even one elected leader. We told them those are strategies. Today, no, the rally was not planned. People just turn up. Raila had some few elected leaders from Mount Kenya. Now they are telling us that what annoyed me is karaoke and Karanja. How dare you calling, Yani you are calling people to receive Raila. Even some of them were not even Raila voters. And you guys tonight has made them even believe on Raila. Calling those people idlers, idlers. You know, idleness is lack of job. Lack of job is caused by the government. The government we have is Ruto government. This Ruto government started, they were sworn in to the office in March in 2013. If Ruto was that much good, when he was a co-president between 2013 to 2017,
There is a point of correction.
he should have employed like 50% of Mount Kenyan youth to the government, so that when people like Raila Odinga goes there, he lack crowds to turn and listen. Yeah, yeah. But if he never does that, if he never does that, blame unemployment on somebody who is sitting right in the power. A guy who is in power today is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. What we have in Kenya is presidency. What you don't know is the word presidency. Presidency means deputy president and the president are elected together. These people are together as one. Nobody appoints each other. They were elected by people. They are still in office. None of them has resigned. All of them are enjoying the government taxes. Ruto is moving around with those vehicles you are seeing. They are being fueled by national oil. Hii ya Kenya yetu hii yenye ina fuel government cars. So you can't tell me somebody who organized rally with his own money like Raila Odinga, you want to blame Raila Odinga on unemployment on this country. Respect Kenyan youths, respect the Mount Kenyan youth. Never and ever say at the Mount Kenyan youth are idlers. That thing will come to haunt you. Remember one small thing destroyed for Kabogo. Your mouth today, keep quiet like Dennis Itumbi, keep quiet like William Ruto. They are not fools to keep quiet. They know why they are quiet. But you jumping like doing frog jumping here and here, there, calling these people idlers, that thing will actually come to deal with you when the time comes. Thank you very much, Temba. I'm tired, let me sleep.
Okay, Ayaga. You have made yourself very clear. I think we'll allow you to sleep. I don't know if Wekesa also has disappeared. Wekesa, are you there? Marete?
Allow me to contribute, please.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, it's Seth. I think the name has been shown there.
I haven't seen the name, so but it's okay. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
You
Now
can get out, man, or you mute.
Let me say this.
Hold on, Seth. Hold on.
For the past.
Hold on, Seth. Hold on. Ayaga, kindly mute, or you just get out.
Allow me to contribute.
Okay, go ahead, Seth. Seth, are you there? Okay, I think Seth has also disappeared. Let me acknowledge some of your comments. For those who are joining us, I can see, let me just read a few of them. So I can acknowledge what you're saying and see if
can have some responses. So you can see Sylvia Eke, Hawa Baba, we have seen you. Agnes Kahali, we have seen you. Jan Metro world over. Ken Mawira Mukindia, we've seen you. God's favorites. Jack Maroy, yes, Karanja, how are you? No, Jalala. So I'm just acknowledging some of the guys who are here with us. Another mute as we acknowledge people who are watching us. I can see Dominic Ekamais. Anasema if Raila needs 10% in Seto, he should be informed that he is. What did he say? I didn't see that first. Let me look for that. I think that is an interesting view that Karanja hiyo itakufurahisha kidogo kwa sababu najua una nitafute hiyo comment imepotea. Ken Mawira Makina anasema please I want to sleep, kama nimekukosea nisamee, na kama umenikosea nisamee. Please I have to sleep. Please I don't want to sleep accompanied by sins. Thank you so much. Sijui amekosana na nani. Okay, through the process tumekuona. Ken Mawira Mkindia tena. Tuone kuna watu wengine. Zakaria Luka, MNTZ, nimefuatilia historia ya huyo Raila. Kawasaidia sana Wakenya kuwa huru zaidi kuliko hata sie Tanzania. Nyie Wakenya mnaongea navyotaka, mpeni huyo Raila kura awe rais wenyu. Nasikia Karanja. Kuna Kidaiga anasema whoever is playing this sick joke on Raila and his supporters must stop it. The fact is this, the Kikuyu nation will never vote Raila. Maybe another person from Nyanza, but not Raila Odinga, son of Jaramogi Odinga, son of Shiun Shitawa. This will never happen. Kenyatta family spent billions since 1963 to make the Odingas look like junior devils. And all of a sudden, the Tiuru wakes up after taking some fine 1966. I don't know what. Okay, the mengine sisomi, hayo ni maoni yake. Dominic Ekamais, Railaphobia will never be erased in Kikuyu. I think nasema hivyo. Mumia Isalambo. That's what they are getting out of your mind. People change and some take time to remove myths. Ground is changing. It takes time. You have a lot of propaganda in your statements. Make right choices. Okay. Joseph Binda, guys, please mwache kujidanganya. Baba ni walkover ya hasla. Ati baba ananyoa Ruto in one day. Please, kuuza baba ni kama kuingia. I don't understand that. Okay. Binda, Temba Raila can't make in Central. Hiyo ni dream. Hayo ni maoni yake. Then of course kuna MC Adam Siva anasema pole sana, wifi ilizima, I will contribute next time. Kuna jamaa alikuwa anataka contribute wifi yake ikajizima. Pole sana. Ati alipanda punda farasi walifikisha Ruto kitambo. Kibet anasema hivyo. Okay. Sasa tumebaki studio mimi na Karanja. I think kunaweza kutoa maoni ya mwisho alafu tuage watu pia. So can you give your final thoughts for today as we close the studio for the day?
Discussion ya leo imekuwa mzuri. Tumefurahia, imetuki busy na iendelee tu hivyo. Nitakuwa na wageni kila wakati. Na ile ya maana ni tuongee mambo ya peace. Kwa sababu after election kupita, Uhuru, Raila wote wataremain na sisi tutaremain kwa Kenya. Na tujue wakati tumeongea mambo mabaya ya siasa, wale viongozi ama wakati kumekuja vita watoto wao wamewekwa pahali bali hawezi guzwa, lakini sisi hapa nje ndio tunaumia. So mimi ile naambia Wakenya tu tuweke amani. Kama una support Raila, msupport peacefully. Kama mimi na support Ruto, msupport peacefully. Wakati wa 2022 ukifika, bado Kenya itaendelea na maisha itaendelea na mtu aendelee na biashara ile yote anafanya. That is what nitaongea leo, na mimi ni timu Ruto ndani kabisa.
That's okay. Hiyo ni kitu jambo la maana sana. Kama licha yao wote, whichever side una support, kama una support Ruto,
Exactly.
that's good. It's your political right to support you ambao
unajua wale viongozi wanaenda wanakaa pahali, hata wakifanya hiyo mambo yote, huwezi jua kama Ruto na Uhuru ama Raila na Ruto wanaenda wanakaa pahali chini, wanakaa wanaongea mambo yao. Lakini sisi hapa tunachukua siasa tunaiweka ndani ya moyo, na address ni sisi nakuja kuumiza, ni sisi tunakuja kuana. Hakuna wakati tumeshaona Uhuru Kenyatta watoto wake wakikuja campaign ati wamekuja kumomboleza watu hapo. Hawakuwagi pale, ni sisi tu tunatumiwa, tunaenda kule kuanzisha mambo mabaya, na wale viongozi wanakaa pamoja. Hata ukiangalia, in fact, senye wanataka kupandisha kama mishahara yao, wale wabunge wote wenye wanatagataga wa ODM, ANC, wote wanakaa pamoja, wanasema hapa tujiongezee mshahara. Sasa mafuta imepanda, hakuna viongozi wanakuja kututetea. Hizi viongozi hatukuwagi na sisi raia wa kawaida hatukuwagi na viongozi, kwa sababu maisha venye imepanda saa hii. In fact, COVID ikam, watu wengi wamefinyiliwa sana na watu wengi wameumia. Watu wengi wameshindwa kulipa manyumba na watu wengi wameshindwa kwenda kutafuta ile mkate, kwa sababu maisha imekuwa magumu. Hata ukienda kujaribu kutafuta unakosa, lakini wale viongozi hakuna wenye wanatutetea. So ndio naambia watu tusiweke siasa kwa roho, tuiweke tu kwa kuja tunaimeza na inatoka, na tujue after that bado Kenya itaremain, na ile hasa yako unafanya ndio utaendelea nayo. Hakuna wakati wao wanasema atakuja inua watu wao wote, tuseme kama Hasra ameingia atakuja inua Hasra wote wapeleke. Hakuna. Hasra ataremain kwa Hasra. Wewe ujifanyie kazi yako mpaka uifanye uwe dynasty, lakini si ati yeye akuja kuchukue ama Raila akuja kutoa hapa akupeleke Karen ukage huko, no. So hiyo mambo tunafaa tuangalie na tujue ile kitu tunataka ni amani Kenya yetu.
hata
So
umesema vizuri.
tulale.
Nikuulize, kama Ruto ako na shida saizi na anataka kupigia mtu simu, atapigia Raila ama atakupigia wewe?
Sana pigia Raila.
Sasa unaona, mdosi upigie ule mdosi mwingine, hawapigiagi.
Exactly.
Hao watu wa chini ni watu wa kuja kupiga kelele na kuwatafutisha kura. So umesema kitu ya maana sana hapo. Kama
Exactly.
ni vizuri kusupport mtu, kama una support mtu ni sawa, hiyo ni haki yako kikatiba, lakini hiyo isiwe ni reason ya kuchukia mtu mwingine, unaelewa?
Exactly.
Uone ya kwamba ni kama sasa huyu jamaa ambaye anasupport mtu mwingine ndiye anafanya nikose. Hapana. Wale wadosi wote unakuta wote ni members wa Karen County Club, unakuta labda Nairobi Club, wanakutana hapo jioni mahali ambapo membership ni 250,000 per year. Wewe huwezi fikia hapo. Sasa unaona inakuwa ni inahitaji mtu ambaye ako na akili uweze kujua kama nina support mtu, acha niheshimu haki ya mtu kusupport mwingine, lakini isiwe ni kwamba ni sababu ya mimi kumchukia mtu mwingine. Hiyo itakuwa ni siasa mzuri, manake tutaenda tupige kura, yule anashinda ashinde, yule anashindwa akubali, maisha iendelee. Naona
maisha iendelee.
Hakuna mahali imeandika ati Ruto lazima kuwe president ama Raila lazima kuwe president.
Exactly.
Yule ambaye atakuja pale ni yule ambaye Wakenya watakuwa wameamua. Sasa hii mambo ya kuanza kutukiana na ama kutusi mtu ama kufikiria kwamba mwenzangu akiingia, Raila akiingia, hakuna mtu anasema Raila akiingia wana ODM wote watakuwa millionaires. Hakuna mahali inaandikwa ati Ruto akiingia sasa nyinyi wote mtaenda State House.
Unajua kuna kitu tulisoma na kuna kitu nilisoma mimi kwangu binafsi. Tukisema ni kuingiza Uhuru Kenyatta kwa State House, tulikuwa tunasema in Kikuyu haka nega itoga gwiciarira, yaani haka ni katoto ketu kakujizalia, na ndiko tunakapeleka wapi? State House ili katusaidie. Lakini ukiangalia katika hiyo serikali na serikali zingine zimeshakuwa, hakuna serikali Mkikuyu ameumia kama hii serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta iko. Na ndio na biashara wengi wamefuga mabiashara zao. Kama saa hii ukienda kama Konji, unapata duka hata bila goodwill. Kuna wakati hapo unaenda unaitisha mpaka goodwill ya 20k kwa sababu saa hii hazina market. Na tulikuwa tunasema haka ni ketu. Hiyo ndio kitu watu wanafaa waangalie. Na sasa watu wenye wameumia sana na hii serikali, wenye wamebomolewa manyumba, wenye wamefanyia mambo makubwa ni sisi wa Kikuyu. Na serikali yenye inatawala saa hii ni ya Mkikuyu. Watu wenye wanalia saa hii ni wa Kikuyu. So hiyo ndio tunafaa tuangalie.
Na hiyo serikali ndio Ruto yuko. So usimtoe hapo.
Hiyo serikali ndio Ruto yuko. Unajua serikali ilikuwa mzuri. Serikali imekuja karibu kwa wakati wa handshake. In fact, kutoka hiyo wakati waliingia hatukuwa na hiyo mambo ya kubomolewa, hatukuwa na mambo.
Hata Ruto alisupport handshake.
Sasa huko ndio tunasema viongozi.
Unaona hata wewe mnafika mahali mnataka kutoa alafu handshake.
Hapana sijatoa. Ndio nimekwambia viongozi wanakaa pamoja.
Unajua unaona hii mafuta imepanda saa hizi watu wanaumia. Ilipandishwa wakati wa 8% ilipopandishwa, Jubilee parliamentarians walipiga kura wakaipitisha.
Exactly.
Hao wote wako UDA saa hizi walipiga kura wakaipitisha.
Temba. It's good for us to get the right treatment of a problem. It's good to make the right diagnosis. If you say serikali imeharibiwa to a handshake, that's a wrong diagnosis. And the truth is you will not get the right medication. It's just like going to somebody ameona tumbo imefura.
Yeye ndiye amesema hivyo, sasa nikamwambia weke hata Ruto hapo.
Si ndio nasema? Sijasema wewe na I'm just saying if you go to somebody and he tells you wewe umerogwa, badala ya kuambia maybe you have a tumor and a cancer somewhere and then you need treatment. You see, at the end of the day, you will start even looking for mtu amekuroga instead of looking for treatment. And at the end of the day, you will die with your condition. So what the politicians have successfully told us is that by the two people coming together to solve a national problem, they created a crisis, which is not true. And that one, it can only be if we buy that script, then we are not helping ourselves because we will be living a lie. The truth is every government inakuanga different challenges. Like the environment in which Trump operated is not the environment in which Biden is operating. So utakuta there are different economic challenges as much as we have different social challenges. But there are people who look at, in fact, most of the challenges right now Uhuru is facing were brought by COVID-19. See, were brought by handshake. And there are global challenges. Everybody is having an economic crunch because of the economy has been affected by the lack of enough economic activities going on. But unajua a local mwananchi ata believe politician akimwambia it is the handshake that brought all these problems.
But unajua nini Wekesa?
Yes.
Even those people who are not honest wanawaambia ni handshake. It's convenient to tell them so. They are not telling them the reason. Would they have rather have had a Kenya that is divided the way it was? None.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu mumeenda kwa kura ile almost half of the Kenyan population haijavote. And you want to you have, yes, you have the instruments of power, but you don't have the people's mandate, basically. No. So if you find yourself in a situation like where Uhuru was, it was going to divide Kenya, and it would be where Somalia is today, or even where Sudan is today. So when people want to use that very carefully so and conveniently so to push an agenda, yet even Uhuru submitted that Ruto knew every step. You know, the only problem was there are different agendas at that point. Ruto, according to him, he had already held, according to the insiders, alikuwa amehold Uhuru hostage. Unaona? So when this handshake happened and the things that ensued after that, didn't got them by surprise. So it is convenient to say shida yetu ilianza baada ya handshake, which is not necessarily the truth. But again, they say you in propaganda, a lie repeated many times can convince a population. So they have repeated the lie too many times until some people think, like Karanja was saying, that the problem with Kenya was the handshake, not necessarily that it was a solution. So propaganda can be can take some credence if it is repeated many times. It is not necessarily true, but to those who want to believe it and want to repeat it, they drum it many times. Like they have now drummed it so many times that Ruto has taken the mountain. They have repeated it consistently without without any tangible figures. The elections are not yet there, campaigns are not yet out, but now they have repeated it too many times. Now it is something they're talking about. So I think, to be honest with the population and Kenyans, is to as much as possible we encourage civic education, and this is one of the reasons why this platform exists, why we need to separate propaganda from hearsay and facts. And I think we were coming to an end, because I don't know if you have closing remarks.
Yeah, my closing remarks will be very simple. The reason we came up with this topic is about Railaphobia. We need to understand why do some people wake up just to go and vote against someone, and then when you ask them what did this person do, they don't have a concrete reason, but it's just the bitterness or anger that maybe subconsciously has been passed on from one generation to another one, or from one leader to another one. And so we needed to face, sometimes it's good to face your ghosts, sometimes it's good to face your ugly whatever, and then deal with it. So in my view, presenting Raila on the mountain and let people have a closer look. There's something called a closer look. Let them have a closer look at him and judge him fairly. Is he Raila the demon that they have been told? Is he Raila the antichrist? Some think is a devil worshipper. Some think is a whatever. He has been elevated to that level of evil gods, but which is not true. It has just been a successful lie that has been drummed up, like you said, over a period of years. And it has become a truth to some people when they see him even on television. Their moods change. But having a closer look at him, they realize he's just a human being like any other person who has just had a disadvantage of political history. And we are saying this because it doesn't just happen to one. While we are the nature of politics is we create monsters. We take 5 years to creating a monster, and we need to take another 5 years destroying a monster and creating another one. So that we are repeating the cycle of creating monsters and destroying, and in it we think we are doing justice to the society by destroying monsters that exist, only to realize that we were the ones building those monsters and monuments that represent our ugly political life. So we need to be objective in looking at our candidates. When you are talking about, if you have a difference with a politician, have facts. It's not bad to say Raila ni mganga, but have facts. It's not bad to say Ruto ni mwizi, but have facts, so that you are objective in your analysis of the candidates, rather than raw anger and emotions that you express against a candidate, and you have never even cross-checked. Today I just had a discussion with somebody, and I was asking, these things that you are saying, have you even cross-checked? Today we live in a world where information is just within your reach. When you Google, you will get so much information about something you are talking about. So why don't you do yourself a favor before even you discuss further? Just cross-check and see whether what you're saying is factual. If it's not factual, don't waste your time, because it doesn't add value. Otherwise, it was a good discussion. We look forward for another topic. We continue to practice tolerance even as we heighten our political activity, because after 2022, we still have a nation to build and a future to look forward for. Yeah, have a good night. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for always staying connected. You can always join the discussion. You can always come on. The link is always there. You can always come in and share your views. Views expressed here are not necessarily those of Mutembe TV. They are individuals' views. So you're welcome always, and kindly like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And share with as many people as possible, so that we can have as many views as we can. Remember, talking is important, because they say when we stop talking, we start fighting, and we don't want to fight as Kenyans. We want to build a beautiful Kenya that is bringing all of us in our diverse capacity. You have the right to support whichever political party you want to support, and whichever candidate you want to support. We want to urge you that if you don't like any particular candidate, stay at home. Don't just go there to shout. Let yourself not be used by any politician for their own political gain. Just stay away if you don't like a candidate. If you like your own, go and support them. Thank you so much. See you again in our next discussion. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
You
Because
have
you can end it.
Oh, it can't end on your side, so it's okay.